What up? What up? What up? I'm sorry. First thing I see what I got in here. Man, how you got that picture? What's going on, family? Hope you guys are having an absolutely awesome day. Apologize for the delay, which was even further delayed. Technical difficulties. We're trying to work it out, man. We're trying to work it out. Um, man, hope you guys are having a good day, man. It's been a crazy day for me. Busy day. I can't say crazy. It was busy. I had to hustle home after we do flags at the job for Veterans Day. So yeah, we had to put those out. Man, I hope y'all guys are having an awesome day. Look, hey man, you miss your calling, TD. You miss your calling. I'm just saying. It was right there, written in stone for you early in life. You missed it, brother. You missed it. I knew you got a kick. I knew you was gonna get a kick out of that picture. Oh man, I'm starving too, man. I'm hungry. I'm tired. It was a busy day. Dragging here. I'm gonna probably have to order me something to come to the crib, man. We're gonna have to order some food. I think I want some wings. What's going on, gents? Yesterday was Veterans Day. I thought it'd be cool to do a little veterans theme here, especially consider most of the cats that's on here veterans. Um, I'm retired Navy. We got, and if y'all look at the thumbnail, we got showing there Air Force, Chair Force, whatever you want to call it. Ray, Army. Who else is on there? We got Tony in there, Army. We got TD in there, his baby picture. He should have been in the Navy. He should have been in the Navy. We're trying to guide him down the right track, but he went a different direction. But he Army dude, so we're gonna let him slide. Jet Force. Yes, indeed. What's going on, IS? So just playing catch up, man. Trying to play catch up with some time. Get on here, hang out with the family. Talk a little sea stories. Ray ain't gonna be with us tonight, guys. Jaxie had a little scuffle, man. So my man they had the animal hospital, man, trying to take care of his dog. He had a little scuffle, man. Yeah, poor Jaxie. Jaxie gotta recover from his fight. So Raven ain't not be here. And then that's like his child. So that is his child. So just saying. He gotta be there for Jaxie. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? How you like them pictures, IS? I have to go in. Let me see what I'm gonna get. I got all the something to eat. I'm dying over here. Who do I feel like eating though? I do want some wings. Show was this close to getting his car. Man, there's so much cool stuff happened. He was this close. Just missed it. Who else? Ray had the scuffle with Jaxie. Had a scuffle. He did get in his house. That's a win. Congratulations to Ray on their new home. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. That is pretty cool. What am I looking at here? I'm trying to get food, y'all. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to get food. What's going on, Tony? Happy Veterans Day, brother. You like that picture, Tony? I had to do some hustling, man, to go find pictures of you knuckleheads. There's some people I couldn't bear. Listen, I was looking for everybody I could think of that either come on here or that's on alive, and I was trying to get photos on everybody, man. Whatever I was able to get, I was able to get. I tried, man. I tried. I was hoping I can get more people, but we did all right, man. I think I did okay. I think I captured what I wanted to capture from getting folk finding pictures that I probably wouldn't find normally on people. Yes, I had to. That's the only way I would get that. That's the only way I could pull that off. I had to dig deep. I thought y'all would still appreciate it, being able to pull some of them old pictures out. Did you see you see TD's picture? Tony, I had to pull that one, man. I had to pull out. Now look, now he had some Army pictures. I couldn't pass it up though. I just had to get that one because he should have been in the Navy. He shouldn't have been in the Army. He should have been in the Navy. Somebody was telling him Navy, and he went the wrong direction, man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. He went the wrong direction. He was almost in the right direction. Thank you for not using a photo of me. Yeah. Look, everybody got that. Well, everybody that actually went through it, they got that snot bubble hanging out their nose after going through that gas chamber. Yeah. Definitely clean your sinuses. What up, TD in the building? I like that picture, TD. TD said, man, how'd you get that? He ain't never been in nobody's Navy. You miss your calling, man. Somebody tried to guide you down the right route and you went the whole nother direction, bro. You miss your calling. Should have been in the Navy. I'm just saying. Should have been in the Navy. Should have been in the Navy. This is seasoned fries. I'm sitting over here trying to figure out food, man. I'm starving. And those who don't know, man, we have a business resource group called Valor. It's for all our veterans, right? I am on my job. I am the chair of our business veterans business resource group. One of the things that we do a few times a year is that we go out and we put the flags out. Hey, man. Sometimes you just gotta follow. There's a reason why I was the only one. Just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. That's the only one for a reason. But you gotta be laughing, man. All right, let's do this. Save. Good Lord. Man, let's do it. I'm hungry. One more required selection. What did I miss? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sitting here trying to order some food. I'm dying over here. All right, what do I miss? I gotta order something. I gotta pick something from over here. Okay, we're gonna grab some of this blue cheese. All right, there we go. Let's go. But what's in the cart? Oh, right, lemonade. Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's go. Quit playing with me. But like I was saying, man, I was trying to get out there and get some photos of some folk of the family, man. Some of them pics, them old military pics. And listen, what's crazy is, those are actually pretty decent if you, especially when you think about what you could find on folk, especially military pictures. Lord, it could be bad. I got some photos that just will never make the cut. We was in the Texas. I was stationed at on the USS Shrike down in Portland, Texas, man, and Ingleside, Texas. Excuse me. They call it Ingletucky. And a few of us. Today's discussion will be about. Yeah, it could be about some of all of that, man. It could be about some of all of that. But me and a few of my guys, man, from the ship, we decided that they have MWR over near that base. They rent boats. You can go out there in the jetties, hang out, go fishing. So we weren't renting a pontoon. We decided we're gonna go fishing, bring us a little grill out. We can, go out there, grab one of them little sandbars or islands and grill, hang out, just have a good time. We're sipping, had us something to drink out there with us. Man, them knuckleheads got so drunk, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God, it got bad. It's like all them pictures can't make the cut, right? You got cats just hurting. Military stuff, man. I'll never forget one time we went, it was in where was he? Panama. And we had to do it was the exercise was called Minex Gomex. It was a mining exercise that we did, and we were competing with a couple other countries. One of them was Canada, and we end up hanging out and partying with Canada. And man, that was a crazy time. Canada, unlike Navy boats, especially small boats like I was on, Canada, they got bars on their boat, so you can drink on their boat. Some of them cats went too far, bro. I'm being, where we were, and then on a foreign boat. It's like you want to have fun, let your head down, have a good time. But dang, you really don't want to go too far. And I think that's what my mindset was. I didn't want to go too far. I want to have fun, have a good time, and enjoy everybody. They had a DJ. It felt like a cruise ship as opposed to a military boat. It was wild. We had a good time though, man. It was a fun time, man. But again, the photos from that, like everybody can't see those, dog. It's stuff that people's like, why was this dude hanging upside down? Like, what was going on right here? What's wrong with this dude? I'm like, nah, we can't. All them photos can't make the cut. You can't share that with everybody. I'm just saying. Everybody can't see that. Yeah, I wanted to make this one Bros and Cars, the military edition. We get some sea stories, talk about some stuff. But then when I call Ray, check on him, see what's going on, come to find out what happened with his dog. So I know he's not gonna be able to make it. I'm not sure where Show at. I know Show was at the crib. No, he was at the job still when I hit him up, so he might come on a little bit later. Yeah, man. Even the veterans, y'all want to jump on and tell some sea stories, you are absolutely welcome. Just let me know. I'll shoot you the link. We can get on here and talk about some of this craziness, man. Sea stories are fun. We all got them. It's the good, bad, indifferent, the ugly, the bad decisions, some good decisions. It's just the stuff that happened across a career, man. It could be a little bit of everything. I know I got, 20 years, you got to have a few stories after 20 years, right? I never forget this one time. This was I was probably a third class. I was an E4. I was stationed in New Orleans at home. At the Port of Invocations, I was working for a command called NRPC, Naval Reserve Personnel Command. And no, was I at NRPC? Yeah, I was at NRPC. And I was some of our watch standings, we called them duty. Got stories, yes. We call them duty. One of my duty, my responsibility, and we were on watch for a week. I was a junior sailor, so I was what they call a duty driver. So anytime we needed to, drive somebody around, go pick something up, they sent the duty driver to do it. Somebody coming in, we got people coming from the airport. They needed somebody to get picked up. They needed to go run somewhere to drop documents off, drop something off, pick something up. They went to the duty driver, and that was your responsibility. You had to go do what they want you to do. The cool part about being a duty driver, you had the keys and you kind of move around a little bit. As long as you cool with your officer on the deck, you can, kind of move around a little freely. You got the keys to the vehicle. It's like having, because you could take the van. We had a van that you was driving, either a van or a sedan. You could take it home. So you had the van at the crib, the whole nine. But you were on call 24 hours. We had back in that day, we had the big bag cell phone. That cell phone was in a bag about this big, man. You had to keep it charged up because it didn't last for like 30 minutes on a charge. You had it in the van, plugged in the cigarette lighter the whole time. When you were in the office or in the building, you had it plugged in. We had those big old phones. It was crazy. But I never forget, one of these days we were having something going on. We worked about a bunch of civilians also. And we were having, I don't know if it was a costume, something. I don't know if it was Mardi Gras, Halloween. I can't remember. But one of the people that I worked with needed a hard hat. And I'm like, I got a hard hat. I used to work with CBs. So I had a hard hat at the crib. I would love. Go in and out. Yeah, bro. For real, for real. Oh my God. So I'm moving freely. Like it's different when you do the driver. When you're on duty or on your watch standing, that is the priority. That is your job. That is your priority. That is not, what you did at your desk is not the priority because you're on duty. So I'm like, all right, let me run to the crib real quick. I'm on duty. I'm gonna go grab this for this lady. I think it was lady or a guy. I'm gonna go grab this hard hat. I went, grabbed it, bring it back. Everybody was real cool around there. Dropping off this hat, bringing it back to the building. I'm pulling back to the building, and they got all kind of helicopters flying around. I'm like, man, what's going on? They got police, they got like a SWAT team out. I'm like, man, what is happening? News, camera, crews everywhere. I'm like, man, what just happened? Now, this was before 9/11, so access to the base was different, right? Before 9/11, to get on a military base, you didn't have to show ID. All you had to do is be in a authorized vehicle, a vehicle that had current stickers or decals on it that will allow you to get on the base. That's all you needed. You did not have to show ID. You didn't have to roll your window down. You roll up to the gate, they see them stickers, they just flag you in. If you was an officer, you had a different color. I think it was blue or something like that. They'll salute the car and then flag them in. And it's the guys that just flag them in. So somebody, a spouse or whatever, had, you could have the decals on multiple cars, drove on base with a weapon. What's going on, Ray? Drove on base with a weapon, and because they were in some kind of disgruntled relationship, man, literally was holding someone gunpoint on the base. So now the base is on lockdown. I'm on duty. That means I'm supposed to be in the building during this lockdown, making sure everything cool. I can't even get on the base because they locked the base down. Now I'm stuck outside the base with the military vehicle. Now I'm nervous. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm about to get in trouble for real. Duty watch officer was like, look, don't worry about it. I got you. I'm gonna tell him I sent you across the river for whatever. To be to the West Bank to go pick up something or another, and then so I'll be covered. Man, I thought I was done, especially consider I'm doing something completely nothing that was authorized. I just knew I was done so bad. I did some crazy stuff. It was scary because the base is on lockdown. If they needed to muster every do watch standing, I'm supposed to be there. Man, I could have got rolled up. It could have been horrible. You hear me? It could have been absolutely horrible. So I survived that. I got so many stories. That's just one of them. That's actually really light story compared to some of the crazy stuff we did. The base that we stayed on. I don't know if you guys what was it called? Full Metal, not Full Metal. Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie is a New Orleans. He's a guy that played Falcon. He was the Falcon. He's probably gonna be the next Captain America, Anthony Mackie. He's a New Orleanian. He actually grew up in New Orleans, down in the Ninth Ward area. We had Mackies. I went to school with Mackies, right? So he's one of the ones decided he's gonna act and actually did really good for himself. He did a movie. He started actually a production company, Helicopter. I ain't got no helicopter stories, bro. He did a television series called Twisted Metal. I don't know if you guys heard of Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal is a video game, right? But what was interesting, it was filmed primarily in the New Orleans, Louisiana area. They made it seem like it was so many different places, but it was primarily filmed at home. But what's crazy is because the base that I was on that got locked down is shut down. They shut that base down. They had a lot of filming done right on that base. It was kind of cool to see that again, but they did a lot of filming right there on that base, man. Fun game for PS1, really? I've never been a big video game guy. I like driving games. I probably might end up getting me one of those kind of simple, chilled out, not expensive driving simulators at the crib. Nothing that move around, but something I could be in and kind of have the wraparound screen, multiple screens, something like that. But I've never been big into them. I always was interested in checking out something like all that first shooter stuff. I just never been a video game guy. Even as kids, we may have had video games, Atari 2600s, ColecoVision, all that older stuff. But my mom ran us out the house. You couldn't stay in the house, especially on weekends. Get out my house. Don't be leaving my door. Don't be running in and out my house. Come home before the street lights come on. It was all of that stuff, right? So even though we may have had some of those video games, they never consumed so much of our time to the point where, when I got older, it was something that I was real heavy into. I just was never into video games. I want to be outside doing stuff, running around, playing sports, riding my bike, stuff in the neighborhood, whatever. I just wanted to be busy. That was fun to me. That was the stuff that I enjoyed. Now, I don't knock anybody that's into the video game. Don't get me wrong. It just wasn't something that I was heavy into. I mean, I even tried to get into the PlayStation games. I bought a PlayStation game, a gaming system. I think I got either 2 or 3. And I was, playing the stuff that I like. I like driving games. I like So it was the Dub City video game that I got real heavy into, and then golf, like sports, some of the sport games. It was a golf game. I tried to get into the NFL, the Madden. Never really got heavy into the Madden stuff. Do I have Skate 2? What is that? Is that a video game? Probably don't. I played golf and a driving game. That's it. Mostly. That's pretty much it, bro. And haven't played those in a while. And although I played the golf game, every time I played the golf game, all it made me want to do is actually go out and play golf for real. It was the Tiger Woods golf game. It made me want to go out and play golf. So I'll jump off the game and go play golf. Back when I was at home in the military, especially when I was on this team called the RP-MAT team. It was a traveling team where we did literally I lived out a suitcase when I was on this team. We were stationed in New Orleans, but Ray's in the building. What up, bro? I thought you was gonna be MIA.
Yeah, we're still waiting, so gotcha. I figured might as well.
Thank you for jumping on. I'm glad you was able to, at least you have it in you to jump on, man. It tells me Jackson must be doing a little better.
Yeah, he's staring Holly down and still trying to get its muzzle off.
No, Lord.
So,
yeah. Oh, like I was saying, so we telling sea stories, man. So sea stories.
I got none of those.
Yeah, you do. I'm sure.
I got land ones, but not sea.
Point.
So far, I flew over a few seas, but that's about it.
But they're just called sea stories. It don't mean you're at sea.
I got drunk going over a sea.
Underwater stories? Nope, don't have any of those either, bro. I am not a submarine guy. But anyway, went to I was on this traveling team, living out of suitcase, literally 2.5 weeks out of the month, traveling all over the country, doing assessments, doing training, doing what else we did? Assessments and training primarily. And but when I was at home, we didn't have much to do. Most of our work was when we were traveling. At home, we probably do reports, update presentations and stuff like that, because we did presentations, training presentations. So when I was at home, probably, I want to say at least 3 days a week, I was on a golf course. At least 3 days a week, I was on a golf course. Man, and in New Orleans, that's year round. I had no winter. Winter just mean the greens were faster. You frozen, Ray. Eventually, supposed to take Ray out. Ray used to play back in the day too, so gonna have to get him back out there and go hit some golf balls, man. You frozen for real, for real. There you go, buddy. You're back.
Yeah, it's a little spotty.
Oh man, that was you guys' tax dollars, man. And I say thank you. For those who are old enough to pay taxes back then, I say thank you. Hey, you spotty for real. Man, the stuff that we used to do back in the day. Traveling was really cool though. Even in New Orleans before 9/11, one of the while in uniform in New Orleans, you were authorized, you were able to have at least 2 drinks at lunchtime. So you were able to have 2 drinks and not be considered, out of regs. So we would go to lunch in uniform. If you didn't feel like buying nothing, just go to lunch in uniform in the French quarters. Somebody gonna buy you a drink. They're gonna either buy your drink, they're gonna buy your food. You just had to be present in the uniform. 9/11 killed that. It just killed it. When we were traveling, do the same thing. Depending on where we are, we went to different places. And I got to the point where I was kind of over it. I wanted to get out of my uniform. I wanted to chill out, I wanted to relax. But this one guy, Andy, we used to travel with. He was a corpsman. He did he did reviews or assessments on the medical side of the house. I did more personnel related stuff. And Andy wanted to be in uniform everywhere so everybody know he was in the Navy and they could buy him free food and drink. He just loved it, man. He was one of these guys that, because of the money that we were getting, we used to make pretty decent money being traveling as much as we did. There was some guy like you didn't even have to use your paycheck because we made so much money traveling. So you could either save it, shop with it, do some other stuff with it, drink it, eat it, whatever, Andy was one of these guys. He was trying to save every penny. So he was one of these guys that he coined his phrase. He's gonna be in his room eating popcorn and peanut butter to save as much money as he possibly can. Most of the time, we stayed at Embassy Suites hotels. And for any of you guys that are familiar with Embassy Suites had complimentary breakfast, not just any old breakfast, like eggs to order and bake, you name it. Everything was a laid out spread. Even today, as Embassy Suites, that's one of my favorite hotels. So Andy would go load up on breakfast and fill his refrigerator up because you got a double suite. Eating and drinking money is the best. No, it ain't. But the rooms are like suites. They were all 2-room suites, refrigerators, and really cool hotel. But man, he would load his refrigerator up with all his breakfast, and that's what he eat for dinner. Because most of the time at the center where we were doing, they were feeding us there. So Andy was one of those guys, man. He's still a cool guy. He loved hard. He was in a bad relationship. It's just like most Navy guys. What's going on, Ray?
Just chilling.
Why are you looking like that?
Oh, Jax is just leaning up against me with trying to figure out how to lay down and relax.
What are they telling you on time, man?
Still haven't heard anything. About an hour and 45 minutes ago, they said it was an hour.
Good Lord. Yeah, I told everybody what happened, man. Hopefully the puppy is okay. I don't know if Tony was on when I said that. Jax got into a little scuffle. Oh, look at poor dude. He got into a little scuffle with a couple of other.
This is what I get.
Neighborhood. Yeah, you get the butt.
Yeah.
Poor puppy.
Hey.
Holly is sleeping on the floor. Holly's sleeping on the floor.
No, she's just sitting with her phone on the one bench against the wall with her AirPods in, watching TV.
Oh, Lord.
So I figure since she's watching TV, I'll just jump on.
There you go. Uh-oh. We got the Jet Force. He's shaking his head.
No, man, no. It went south as soon as I got off the phone with you.
Are you sick? What happened? You were supposed to be ordering parts and leaving.
Dude, I ordered parts. The guy walked in, was like, "Hey, can you check this?" I helped him with something, came back. He was like, "Well, since we here, ran a test downhill." I'm like,
I figured you got pulled into something.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm finna go home, eat. I'll be back in an hour. Like, you can go ahead and start taking that stuff apart. I'm gonna go home and eat. I'll be back in an hour.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
And look, I'm starving, man. I had to order something online because Ray wasn't available. He wasn't gonna pick up me White Castle, so
Did you get your White Castle right? I like the background though. So I got a hot 22 minutes. What are we talking about?
you got a hot 22. We talk about sea stories, man.
And chilling at the animal hospital.
You're at the hospital.
You wasn't. You didn't hear the story. He wasn't on. He didn't hear the story.
Give me a quick version.
Jackson got into a scuffle with a couple other dogs.
Okay. Probably about to say, yeah, fell down the steps, carrying the box, trying to move the sleeping
know, right?
to the second floor.
No, that's me getting pulled over this morning on the way to the new house after I got off the phone with Lloyd.
And the crazy part was one of the things we talked about was what? You should get a radar detector for the truck.
Well, I do. I put it in the vet when we went up to Wisconsin.
I don't believe in those things, man. Live on the edge.
No. These things save your butt. No.
No.
Why did he join the ooh, I like that. Good question.
I think I already answered that before. But
did you really?
Yeah. A while back, like maybe episode 6 when we had AB on here.
Yeah.
But
that's right. We were a cast of veterans. So
yeah.
Why did I join the military? Honestly, I was way out. So when I graduated I'm gonna start from my junior year. Junior year, there was nothing about me that told me I was going to the military. I'm like, I'm playing sports. I'm doing well. I'm about to get me a scholarship. It's about to go down. So the athletics maintained well. Girls got a little bit more interesting for me. Therefore, my attention on what I was supposed to be paying attention to slipped way off. Grades started to slide. Was doing still great in school. I think I started the year off with a 3.8 average and kind of coast all the way out with like a 2.0. I was not focused on what I was supposed to be focused on. And end up having to make a decision. Like I had a scholarship to Tuskegee for football. Tuskegee University in Alabama. I had a scholarship to the University of New Orleans for track. Yeah, I was afraid to go to any of those schools under those scholarships because I was afraid to fail. I was afraid to go there and get the scholarship and not do what I was supposed to do educational-wise and have to be back home. Coming back home meant coming back to see the same dudes. I grew up in the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans. Seeing the same dudes on the same color selling dope, doing dirt, or whatever the case may be. I couldn't do that. So I had to make a hard decision. I had a buddy of mine, Harry, he graduated a year before I did. And he went to Southern University, and he's like, man, I need to go to the military so I can get money for school. I said, I probably need to go to the military so I could just go to school, be focused and learn something. And he and I was gonna go in on a buddy program, and something happened. That didn't work. And
that never works.
That
never works.
It never works because somebody gonna be a little bit smarter than the other on that ASVAB.
That never works. That buddy program.
He was so it didn't work out. And they offered him like one job. I had a ton of jobs they offered me. They offered him one job, and the job they offered him, I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. We're gonna figure it out. I came all the way up here. What's going on, New York? I came up here to Great Lakes. Wait, let me see. Girls. I was not focused on nothing but girls. I came up there to Great Lakes to go to boot camp. He went to San Diego. I'm not San Diego. He went to Orlando for boot camp. At the time, the Navy had 3 different places where you can go to boot camp. I was like, man, I came to freezing cold November 1, 1989. It was when I went to boot camp.
I went November 1st of 02.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
why
I went.
enjoyed
I went in
it.
the summertime when it was the best time to go.
I bet it was,
But I
man.
went to
wish I
South
would've-
Carolina, so
I went to San Antonio. It's just like
Oh
Compton.
Lord. Yeah, man, I was far from focused. And the military was my way, in my opinion. I thought it was going to get me to at least be disciplined enough to do what I was supposed to do. So I literally went for the reserves only and to go and do what I was supposed to do in school. And man, yeah, that wasn't the case. I went there. I got into the military for the reserve. Next thing you know, I was like, man, I really like this. I got to figure out how I'm gonna stay and do this for a long time. And started having a good time. Hold on, guys. Let me go grab something real quick.
Yep. That's interesting. I got sidetracked on women, so I decided to go to the military in the Navy.
yeah.
Probably should with the Tuskegee. It was just like the military. He would have did all right. He a fool. The snot bubble gas chamber one. But no, I went in. I think everybody know my story. I went in because I decided I wasn't paying no more money for college. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do something different. Hello, Shane.
Yeah, if I didn't join, I would have probably been arrested a lot more times than I should have.
So the funny thing about that is, I don't know if the military reduces your arrestings. I just think it changes the location so they don't really stick out as bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know I wasn't a mischief child, but I did hang out with a lot of people that constantly kind of got arrested.
Got in trouble?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Same here.
But since we was overseas, it's like nobody cared. Like, that's not gonna follow you back to the States.
Oh Lord, what did I miss?
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think it stopped them from getting arrested. I just think it just changed the whereabouts. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Wait, what we talking about?
No, I was
Adult
saying that-
conversations.
Ooh,
Adult conversation.
ooh. No, I was saying I think you should have went to Tuskegee. It was just like the military.
So what's that? The Tuskegee University?
Yeah, man.
I wasn't focused. I mean, not only that, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. You know, and when I visited that school, you know, it's all about heritage.
Yeah.
It was all about, you know, education.
Did you go to the house?
Huh?
Did you go to Booker T house?
Say that again?
Did you go to Booker T's house?
Yeah, they showed all that.
Yeah.
So when you see all that stuff, it's like, do you
I gotta
really
do
want to be
something.
that guy?
Right. I gotta do something in my life. I just can't come here and be that. I can't be that other dude.
I don't want to be that guy. So it's like, I got to figure out how to make this work. And
Well, you just got food.
I went there, you know, I couldn't stay there. I was like, yeah, I got to get out this joint. It felt like prison.
What up, sis? Thank you.
But yeah, so
Ray, what was your reason?
freedom.
Hanging out with the wrong people. We got arrested more than I should have. And
So
No.
you had to do something.
no. Military ran in my family, so
Yeah, I think it ran in everybody's family because you know that thing called a draft.
yeah, my
Oh,
grandpa, my uncle, my dad, he was ex-Navy, so
I didn't have a lot of people in my family that was military. Like really, like hardly any.
Yeah, the draft got my family.
I didn't
A lot of
have a
people
lot
got
of people in my
drafted,
family
so
that was military. I had like cousins kind of removed and no one close to me in the military.
Really?
Yeah, I had no one close to me in the military.
Jackson. Yep. Come here.
My father, my grandfather, my uncle.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
But like I said,
Yeah.
my grandfather kind of got drafted. My uncle, I think he just did it. So
All right, branch. What made you choose your branch?
because I didn't want to be on no ship and I didn't want to sleep in the woods.
You a smart man. You are a smart man. I'm just saying.
Literally,
Well,
that
I didn't want to get eaten by a shark, and the Marines exercised way too much for my liking.
I'm just saying.
I
Literally,
didn't mind the exercise, so running was nothing for me. So that was no big deal.
so
I didn't want to crawl through mud.
So the funny thing about it was like,
Didn't want to crawl through mud. I talked to 2 recruiters, Air Force and the Navy. That's it.
but here's the funny thing. I was finna go into the Marines, right? And then I was like, so what bases do y'all have? He's like, oh yeah, we don't really have many of those. Yeah, I can't come here.
Mm-mm.
I'm not gonna be like bumming housing from somebody.
Yeah. Jackson, come here. Come here.
Marines wasn't even an option.
I fell into the commercial looking for a few good men. The sword looked nice. I thought I was gonna get a sword.
Marines was not an option. I didn't want nothing where I had to crawl through mud.
Yeah.
That wasn't an option for me. I didn't want to do that.
I like that. They just exercised way too much for my liking.
Back then I was fit, so I didn't really mind exercising, you know.
Exercising didn't bother me at all. I was already running all the time, right? Anytime I need to clear my head, I went for a run. I just ran. I ran all the time before I joined.
No, Forrest Gump.
Huh?
Forrest Gump.
Literally.
You just kept running.
Yep.
Yeah, I just kept running.
I kept running and running.
And then one day I stopped.
Yeah. That was somewhere around senior second class. I'm like, I'm tired of this running.
My first true duty station was Spangdahlem Air Force Base, Germany.
I was bomb holder, Germany.
Yeah, you was right down the road.
New Orleans.
He got homesick.
I ain't get homesick. Remember, I came in the reserve.
Oh, that's right.
You go through A school, your boot camp at A school.
Yeah,
You go back home to drill. I hated it. I'll find a way to get on active duty. Got on active duty. And stayed in New Orleans longer than I wanted to. I was in New Orleans for my first 13 years of my service.
He was in K-Town. Man, y'all all was in Germany was just jumping, huh?
Was Ice House around when you were in?
I believe so.
Or Euro Palace? Down in Mines?
Yeah. Can you swim since you? Can you swim?
Were you in the military?
Can you swim? So, I think that question was directed for you since you was in the land of the water.
They show. I mean, I was able to swim enough to survive. I didn't swim for competitively.
Right. I swim recreational. I wouldn't drown.
I was never one of those guys that did my PRT swimming. That wasn't an option. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to fail. What up, Mr. Golson? Oh, that's right. You supported your boo at the time.
That's funny. Yes, and the B6 Club.
The B6 Club, that must be Germany.
Yeah, that's all German stuff.
Yep.
How many years did you guys serve?
I gave them a nice 4 years.
You did 1, 2, or 2? Ray?
I did 10.
10 years.
I was in for 10. I did two
How'd you get
15
out?
months. I did 2 15 months in Iraq and 3 18 months in Afghanistan.
Why you get out then, man? You was halfway there.
I was losing my mind.
Literally halfway there.
Honestly, all you need was another 5 years that they kicked you out.
They
With some
kick you
pay.
out. Mhm.
I wouldn't have gotten that lucky.
We always get that early out. Oh, well, no, yeah, we get your early retirement.
And depend. What year were you in?
Who, me?
I went in 02.
02?
Yeah, then they gave it to you. I went in 01.
That's when they started offering early out
Yep.
during your years.
That's what I did. I took the early out. I was like, I'm out this bad boy. I had signed up for 6. They was like, you want to get out? We'll give you $10,000. Peace.
They suckered me for another 6 after my 4 for a tax-free bonus.
Wow. Have any of you guys ever gone to mass? For myself or somebody else?
That would
I've
be
been doing it for a lot of other people,
that would be a negative.
but for me, no.
That is not a cool scene at all.
Mm-mm.
Nope. TD 27 years.
I didn't attend no Article 7s, no Article 13s. I ain't attend none of those.
Got in March 99.
Yes to the cookies. I went in March 2001.
November 1989.
Coming right into the summer. Just got a boot camp in time not to catch the San Antonio Heat.
I was up here in Great Lakes. Graduated, was able to spend New Year's Eve in downtown Chicago.
Oh, look at that.
That was fun. That's a whole nother story right there.
I spent New Year's in downtown Chicago too.
Huh?
So I spent New Year's Eve in downtown Chicago too, my first year. But I can tell you this, January 2nd, I was flying to Germany. Like, good God. It's a long flight.
January 3rd, I was landing in Meridian, Mississippi.
I got it.
Like, yeah, that was
Meridian,
fun.
Mississippi was so small. We went to Atlanta. Atlanta got on this little bitty tiny plane.
Yeah, no.
The junior year in high school.
Dude, so what was funny about mine was,
Yeah.
you know, this was before September 11th, so they still had the 7.
I'll be right back.
All right, man.
Dude, we had like a whole, I'll say 80% of that 747 was all new recruits.
Really?
We didn't even know it. We just on the plane together.
Wait, when did you join again?
2001. March before September 11th. So like literally, I guess like we had pretty much took over the hotel. Didn't know that. Should have known that because a lot of young people at the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Then the next day or that night, we hopped on the plane like at 6 p.m. Landed in San Antonio like 9. Like, oh, you was on the plane with me too, huh?
Hey.
They hit you with that little nice speech. Hey, everybody over here, come on over here.
Yeah.
Welcome to San Antonio. Put you on the bus. When you get up, get your butt off this bus. People like, this is nice.
I know. It's super nice in the beginning.
Super nice. Hey, get your bag.
And
Come
then
on
they
over
own
here.
you.
That bus pulled
Oh
that
my
base.
God.
What are you doing? This is not club, man. Get off this bus. Move it. Like,
so boot camp, right? And I say this and I answer this, at least coming from a boot camp perspective, to answer your question, Sharon. I went to boot camp and had an idea of what to expect. It was all a mind game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you get past the mind game, you just got to put the checks in the block until you finish and graduate and go on to wherever else. I was a recruit chief petty officer, what they call. I was over the house. That was a win. There was a plus for that, and there was a downside. The plus was I was in control. So I had to, everything that came with the responsibility to being in charge came with that. That was the plus and the down. For my RDCs, being the RPOC of the house meant you're going to be the strongest man in the house. Meaning, when everybody get in trouble, we all get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And after we all finish getting our remediation, me, Mr. RPOC, went to office and had it twice all the time. I went to boot camp at 175 pounds. I left boot camp at 205 pounds. I gained muscle like a mug. But although that was crazy, it still was easy. Boot camp was like easy. Like it was a mind game. It's just you play the game, you get through it and move on. But you learn that
politics.
It's all it is. You learn that through all of that, you have some of the same challenges in the field when you go to your first command. It's some of the same stuff, a whole lot lighter, a lot easier. A school was a little bit more freedom, but still, it's all about it's like being in college, super simple. Other than the fights, I had fights, so we'll talk about that in a minute. I had a good career. I cannot complain. When I hit my 15th year, I was done. It was changing too much. But I was still having fun, enjoying things, doing what I need to do to survive and be right, and still get promoted. But my goal was, after 15 years, I'm like, you know what? It's changing too much for me. This don't look like the Navy I started out with. So let me just go and ride out this 20, get that check and get up out of here. I'm good with it. And that's pretty much that route I went. Got the wings, bro. Yeah. What about your tour?
Me?
Yeah.
It was, I gotta say, so went from San Antonio to what is that? Wichita Falls, Texas.
Oh wow.
That was my tech school. So went to Wichita Falls Tech School, spent the entire summer there, left there like September, let's say 22nd, somewhere around that time frame. Went to Phoenix for the hands-on part of tech school. So I was in Phoenix from September until December 21st. Came back home. I was at home for Christmas and New Year's. Caught the flight out January 2nd. End up in Germany. And literally, like what I remember the most is, like you said, it was all mind games, and I just couldn't believe how many. I guess you can say I can't call them grown men, but I call them grown men, like 18 years old, because I went in at like 23.
Okay.
So my mindset was totally different.
Yeah, I can believe that.
You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm just like, a lot of this yelling, like it's whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
So, but it was people peeing on themselves. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, all they doing is yelling at you. Yeah. So
you literally scared the piss out of him.
Yes. So, but to do the opposite, because I was like the second oldest person in our little squadron, they didn't want to make us in charge because they didn't want us to feel, they was like, y'all gotta learn how to take orders from people younger than you. I'm like, whatever. So,
I can believe that.
but it was kind of funny because although they did it, they still came back to us like, "What would y'all do?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Leaning on your leadership,
Right, leaning on the
experience, at your
yes,
maturity.
yes. And then when I finally got into the field and went, got through the bases, like introduction, got to the base, first
Uh-oh.
first airman's class and all
On
that
his
stuff.
way, bro. Tony ready.
You ready? Okay.
Mm.
So
Boy, I'm listening.
when we got through all that, right? What made it funny was that was my whole military career. Because I was older, I got put in positions I didn't have the rank for, but I had the maturity for.
Gotcha.
So
I get it.
So literally, it was like I said, that's what I learned. They say nothing but politics. That's all it is. Air Force is nothing but politics.
I can believe that. When I think about, especially peace. Look, I'm looking at that one picture that you sent, Tony. I was gonna use that one, by the way. He's grilling with a gun on his back. Yeah. I know there was something else I wanted to ask. What made you get out?
The money.
Really?
Honestly. So here's the thing. The money was like the cherry on top, but they was sending me somewhere. So here's my thing. I hate when military is nothing but politics. My Air Force career was nothing but politics.
Mm-hmm.
I became very cool with a lot of officers. So everybody had a different plan for my career that didn't agree with my career.
Mm.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so literally, when I was in Germany, I rarely worked. I was always like a liaison for some attendance, something I shouldn't even be a part of. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't have the experience. I just learned on the fly. They teaching me as I go, yada yada. Had a lot of supervisory roles that my rank didn't justify.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I handled them so well, I started getting all these accolades for doing above and beyond. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And so one day I got that sit down, like, so check this out. This is what we're gonna do.
Instagram, Tony.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have you go over here to work on the stealth bombers. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like highly classified, yada yada. I already got these classifications and top
What
secret.
was your job in the military?
I went in as an F-16 crew chief.
Okay.
I went as an F-16 crew chief. I ended up working in what they call the phase department, where we took the plane completely apart and rebuild it within a week.
Wow.
Yeah, doing like tests, like stress tests and all that type of stuff. We did this every week. You're not supposed to get that position until you are like you got a line number to be a sergeant. I had that as a 2-striper.
What?
Yeah. And then because I came in so low, when I had my 3rd stripe, I was put in charge because I had the experience when, as people start to rotate in and rotate out, yeah, you might have a rank, but you don't have no clue how this works.
Yes.
So there's like, so that didn't sit well with power hungry people because I earned my rank. You just shouldn't be over me. But like I said, politics. You got the damn colonels like, y'all need to listen to him because he's done this for this. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, it didn't sit right. So when they finally got put back in control, I started getting as you say, hazing. So then officers like, yeah, we're not having that. We're not going to play this game. You know what I'm trying to say? So they moved me over here, put me in. Now I'm going back to what I didn't want to be, which is dealing with finance and books and the squadron, keeping up the budgets. And you know what I'm trying to say? But it looks good on my paper trail. So now
it
you're like,
does.
yeah, right. And then the war in Iraq kicked off. And so they deployed half the base. I just happened to be in Chicago. So I was the only person that didn't get deployed. I come back like, this is a ghost town.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Dead serious. Because it was so. I had vacation in, so I went home for like Christmas.
They didn't call you back?
No. Literally. They deployed everybody because we had 2 fighter F-16 fighter squadrons and an A-10, what they call surface to ground missile.
Mhm.
So they literally deployed one whole unit, half of the other unit, and the A-10 squadron to tank busters. So literally, I come back like this place is a ghost town, and now they looking for me. Like I come back, ain't nobody to report to, so I'm just. And so now they searching for me. They finally get a hold of me. I think I'm in trouble. I'm like, I don't know who to report to. Like, we need somebody to catch these bombers. I was the only person left because they was touching down at our base, filling up, servicing, going to drop bombs in Iraq. That's so because I was the only person there. I get all this recognition for working on a plane. That they gave me a book to learn how to service. Literally like 6 hours before they arrived. So yeah, it was crazy, man.
Bro, that sounds bananas.
That's why I say like the military put you in some stuff you just don't even like the stuff that you get thrown into and then you just make it happen. Like
As a
people don't
young
understand.
guy. Yeah.
Right. People don't understand. Like that's the thing I'm always amazed about because we look like I'll be at home and I look at these kids, 18 years old, I'm like they doing nothing. In the military, you'll be responsible for so much multi-million-dollar equipment.
For other lives.
Yeah, and that part too, that you just have no clue. And I'm just like, y'all sitting here, boy. But so literally after that, that's how the whole thing. We gonna send you to work on the stealth bomber. Yep, you was at Ramstein. Look at that. I played on Spain Down on base team. We played at Ramstein a couple times too. I was there until 2005. So the basketball.
Oh wow. 2005, y'all were there not too long. Y'all probably was there around the same time.
We was there at the same time. Because I played in USAFE. I played in the base basketball team for Spain Down. I mean, Ramstein was the team. But what I was going to say, yeah, so after that, they was like, we're going to send you to New Mexico, work on the stealth bombers. We're going to have you do that for like 2 years. I know such and such, you're going to report to him. He's going to take care of you. From there, you're either going to go to, and I can never think the name of our planes, the air show planes. I can't never think of their name for the Air Force anymore.
Air Force,
but I was either going there or Air Force One, and I was like, yeah, I want either one of those. And so that's what kind of made me start wanting to get out. And people like, oh, that's an honor. I'm like, no, because I wasn't that person wanting to have my uniform criticized
all the time.
I didn't want that.
Yeah, you go to what they call something wings, right? Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds. That's what. Yeah. So you go to the Thunderbirds, you still got to keep your uniform up to par.
Air Force One. Thunderbirds is like being ceremonial.
That's what I'm saying.
You had to be sharp all the time.
And then you go to Air Force One, same thing.
Tony in the building.
What's going on, guys?
Tony got stories.
Say Tony got stories.
Tony got stories.
Oh, I got stories of Creon from before times.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Listen, here's what I was about to ask him. I'm like, so I know Creon was a good basketball player in high school. Why didn't you pursue basketball out of high school into college?
Who, me?
Yeah.
So check this out. I didn't know how to play politics back then. That's just the real side of it. Coach Nishi, still talks, love that man. When I got ready to transition to Coach Hood, who was very strict, but he was also like he's in the top 5 coaches of all time in Chicago. Wow. We just didn't see eye to eye. But Coach Hood was one of those you wait your turn type of people. You could be better than somebody, but you still gonna you gotta he just was one of those loyal that this person was here last year. He's not bad. Y'all technically about the same, but it's his senior year. So give him his moment to shine and try to get his scholarship.
Okay.
And I just didn't really agree with that. So, but So I kind of stopped playing my junior year, which kind of led to the rumors of he's uncoachable, he's a hard head, he's this, and this. So I just thought it was kind of funny.
That's not the rumor. The rumor where everyone thought you were pregnant.
That
So-
boy stupid.
So no, so literally, I was going to transfer, which
Where
was
you
kind
gonna
of
go?
I was going to go to Lane Tech. I was going to transfer to Lane Tech because they had heavily pursued me, and I had to transfer by a certain date, and my mom just wouldn't let me do it in order to be eligible the next year. So, because of that, and me not getting along with Coach Hood, I wasn't going to play my senior year, so I didn't play all the stuff I was supposed to play over the summer. And then,
Got out
but
the
I was
summer
still
league.
cool with the basketball players, and they just kind of taught me back into playing again. So, because I missed so much exposure, I literally only had 2 offers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And one was to North Dakota, and the other was to some junior college. My mom like, you too smart, you ain't going to JUCO. And my pop's like, you ain't going to North
Great way to
Dakota.
cut your teeth, man.
So
It's a great way to cut your teeth.
so I end up at self-recruiting myself, or should I say self-selling myself. I end up at Tuskegee.
Oh, you went to Tuskegee.
Yeah. And then so the coach at Tuskegee had agreed to give me a walk-on slot. You know what I'm trying to say? And I politics hard for that. I go down there. He gets let go over the summer.
So now you got to start
Yeah.
over.
So now I got to start. So I go down there the first 20, let's just say the first 32 hours I'm on Tuskegee, my grandmother dies. So now my parents bring me down there. We hop on a plane, fly back to Chicago.
Man.
The new coach calls this team / get together, yada yada yada.
And you in Chicago.
And I'm in Chicago. So when I come back, it's like, oh, so you just feel like you can do whatever you supposed to. You didn't check in, woo, woo, woo. So you got to earn this. And he had also brought people that he tried to recruit to another school there.
So you
So
brought people
now-
that follow the coach. Oh my Lord.
So yeah, it's very interesting. So now it's like you really don't want to give me a shot because I wasn't that tall. I'm still the same height. And I just didn't fit his program. But lo and behold, there's a kid from Chicago. His name is Troy. And so at this point, I'm politicking the lead. Like, I ain't staying. I don't like this all boy dorm. You know, like, yeah, I'm getting out of here. So I start politicking to go to Austin Peay State University in Tennessee.
Okay.
So I'm working out with Troy because Troy was, I think he had graduated the year before, but he was back there working out because he was going overseas to play, yada, yada. So I'll start playing with him. Now the coach is like, who is this kid? And they're like, that's the kid you want to let play. You get what I'm trying to say? So now he's trying to convince me to stay next year. I'm like, no, I'm gone. I had already politicked my way out to a partial scholarship at Austin Peay State University. Right? So finished Tuskegee, transfer to Austin Peay State University in Tennessee, right? I'm on Austin Peay. I'm at Austin Peay State
This is a
University.
classic show story. Oh my
I'm
God.
being real with you. So I'm on Austin Peay State University for a whole 8 to 10 days, somewhere around that number. Go talk to the coach and so forth. He tells me, you got the partial scholarship, but unfortunately, because you're ineligible this year, we can't let you have it. So they wanted me to pay like $7,000 for some money, or they're like, you're going to be out of here in 48 hours.
Tick.
I'm coming home. Literally, that's how I left Austin Peay State. And then 48 hours, I was back in Chicago. My grammar school basketball coach was a junior college coach. I forgot for what school. And when my mother told him I was coming home, because my mother was at this point was working at the grammar school I used to go to, he was like, oh, no, that's not happening. So he made some phone calls. I was supposed to get an opportunity to try out for the SIU basketball team. Went down there. The person he talked to, coach gets fired.
What?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I just had to work. I was like, I gotta let go of this whole basketball thing. It ain't meant to be. Too many people. So literally, that's when you know him very well now. Bruce Pearl became SIU's coach,
Yeah.
and he brought a couple of kids with him, and he was like, I have to apologize. I knew nothing about you. I would have known. I said, woo woo. And so at that point, I was like, F it, I'm done. And then of course, I started working out. I became really, really close friends. Still talk to him to this day with Troy Hudson.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Troy was SIU's, I would say, second best player behind Chris Carr, but he's from Carbondale, so he's a hometown legend.
Mm-hmm.
And working out with him got me opportunities to, mess around with their basketball team. But yeah, so at that point, yeah, I just let it go. I used to just work out with him all the time. And then messing with him, his agent tried to get me overseas. I was like, I'm not going overseas to play no basketball. Going to the military, and guess where I go?
Overseas
Overseas.
and playing some basketball.
And play some damn basketball. I was like, that's why I was like, bro, you can't make this up. Like, I was like, I'm not going overseas. Nope, not doing it. He's like, it's an unorthodox plan, but you're good enough. Let's get you overseas. Do this. We try to get you because like Troy went undrafted, but he had a nice NBA career. Like sometimes you don't get drafted. He's just like, you got to come in the back way.
You got to think, bro. What's the percentage? What is it? The top 1% actually make it to the league?
So literally, I'm like, man, I am not going overseas. Sign up in the military, and they send me straight overseas. Sad part is they almost sent me to where he was trying to get me to go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was just funny how it played out. But yeah,
that is crazy, bro.
Dude,
that was a journey.
It was.
That's a journey,
dude.
That's your first deployment.
Literally a deployment.
But all I keep looking back to through the whole thing is like, what if I just actually went to some place that wanted me, like North Dakota? How would that have actually played out? But my father didn't want me to go to North Dakota, so that's the only reason I didn't go.
You know what how that song go? If I coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I know, but I'm just like,
that's what folks always say.
But
woulda, shoulda.
But it's like, but when you see that journey I took,
too late. You should have been playing right now.
But I'm just saying, when you see that journey I took, it's like I just wonder what would have happened if I'd have went somewhere that wanted me.
Had one stationary spot, somebody that's going to invest time in you, invest scholarship money into you, put time into your career and your education. Who knows?
Correct. Like versus you trying to always find a way to finesse yourself in. Like that's why I said I learned how to play politics so much. I was politicking for so long, and I was like, yeah.
Finessing sometimes open doors for certain things, but it doesn't create long-term solutions for you. And I think that's you probably the greatest example of that just now. That story that you told, it was like you were always almost there, always almost there.
And like even the whole thing with Austin P, like, because I could have, my parents would have paid the money, but I was just so mad that like you got me here, they're gonna spring a bill on me. No, I ain't staying here. Just literally, I was like, I'm going home. Who does that? Like, you should have sat there and said, like, the first year you got to fund this, but you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm like, who does that? And then I think the other thing about it too that made it really bad with that situation was because when I went there and I went with my mom and so forth, I'm not gonna say he wasn't the head police officer, but he was like second or third in command. And when we introduced us to my mom, was like, yeah, he was the only black guy we really saw. He was like, they be on BS down here. So you got to keep your nose clean. He's like, so it's like his conversation before that. I think that's what just like me. Like, hey, I ain't staying for this. I got to walk with my nose clean. Got to keep. Nah, I'm not. No. So yeah, it was just one of them situations, man.
Oh my Lord. Yeah.
But
hey, bro, that's the stuff that shapes us into who we are.
man, but I will say this though, and I don't ever. I had some really good times at SIU, and having access to Troy really made me have some good times.
That's kind of cool.
Because like they they had the lockout, so I hung out with him during the lockout. So I got to play with like Sean Marion, several, I'm trying to say, kind of like just players that's come in town, want to get some hooping in and so forth. Everybody can't play with us, but come on. So I got,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so it was cool.
Tony, what's the word?
He had the floor. I didn't want to interrupt. And
Tell us about your situation.
he had the.
No, I appreciate Tony for letting me get my hot 22 minutes out.
I'm like, it was your basketball court. We were here to watch you.
Let me get my hot 22 minutes out.
And I'm still thinking about how when Lloyd was saying he joined the Navy to get away from girls. I'm like,
I know, right?
I guess there were no girls in the Navy, huh?
No, that's not it.
That's why he went to the Navy, because they're not known for the women.
And they definitely
it
are
wasn't
not.
that I went to the Navy to get away from women.
In the Navy,
I went to the Navy to try to gain some discipline because of all the crap that I was doing.
Yeah, I don't see how that works out.
Huh?
If you want discipline, you go to the Marines.
and the women there are ugly.
We had no women in boot camp now, so
y'all didn't.
Mm-mm.
They was upstairs from us.
Yeah, they were our downstairs.
They were in Orlando.
That was torture.
Yeah, we were a bunch of men.
All you got to do was
all
seamen.
men. What'd you say?
All you got to do was seamen.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much. It was all guys, man. We ain't had no in the Navy. No ladies, bro. All the ladies was in Orlando. So Great Lakes and San Diego. Guys only. And then when they closed the Orlando and San Diego bases down and made Great Lakes they call it the quarterdeck of the Navy. That's when it became co-ed.
How old were you when you joined?
I was 18.
Oh, you went right out.
Yeah, he was fresh out.
18 years old.
That's why you need. Yeah, you're right. You needed discipline then.
I need it, man.
He still ears, breath smell like Similac.
You say you got something right here. You got that.
That's Navy. That's Navy man right there.
I can't tell you how many times I heard that as a young sailor. Oh boy, you still got Similac on your breath.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was a baby, man. I was a young guy, but it was the crazy part. Like you said, you were one of the old guys. I had guys in my company, 30. The oldest guy was 32 years old.
I think I had a 30-year-old in mine. I joined at 20, so I had a couple years, after high school to grow up a little bit. But turned 21 while I was at AIT in Texas, Goodfellow Air Force Base. Now I remember the drill sergeant because we were doing PT. The drill sergeant was like, "It's your birthday? All right, you're leading PT." And so it got me in front of everybody. I'm doing the leading of the of physical training, and I'm like, "All right, all our cadences ended at 21." I'm like, 21. 1, 2, 3, go! Right, so it's like everything was 21. I'm like, fine. 21 push-ups, 21 everything.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Oh my God. I had some older guys, man. I had 27-year-olds. I had a lot of older guys. At least in my mind, it was a lot. We had 78 men in the house. So we had a house of 78 men. Of course, I had section watch leaders that reported directly to me, but I was still kind of responsible for understanding all these personalities. And it was weird that so many older guys, they just thought differently, they moved differently, and some of them was affected, like you said, Show. Like it was the end of the world. Like this boot camp thing is gonna break them in half.
Yes.
Like I'm like, bro, it ain't that serious. Calm down.
People really had strategies. I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna go say sick bay for like 2 weeks. No, I'm gonna come back just in time not to get washed back. Y'all strategizing for this 6 weeks.
They worked hard not to do work. They did so much. It would have if you'd have just worked hard, doing what you're supposed to do, you'd have had it easier.
I remember living pretty much from Sunday to Sunday, chow Sunday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Like that was basic for me. I think I missed a lot of it. I was like my brain was there, my body was there, or something. Like I missed a lot.
You turned it off. You just
turned it off. I just wanted to go. Yeah,
you went to auto mode, man. You turned off all your receptors, all the feelers. Got numb, did what they told you to do, ran where you had to ran, was in the right uniform at the right time and where you were supposed to be at the right time. Well, it's kind of hard not to do that in boot camp because everybody went everywhere at the same time, right? So
I started doing dorm guard during PT.
Say what?
Dorm guard.
Dorm guard? What is that?
You have to protect the room, man. Some guy being at all times.
Is it like fire guard?
Yeah. I was in there during PT. Yep, I was in there during PT most of the time. And then, we had as you advance along, then you got to watch the new incoming recruits. So yeah.
Have any of you guys, after leaving boot camp,
them,
ever went back to your boot camp?
Yeah, I worked there like almost twice a year.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I go to Santa like twice a year.
I've never went back to Fort Leonard Wood.
For you, Show, how was that experience? Was it weird? Was it felt like looking at it through a different lens? What did that felt like to you?
So the first time going back, it was kind of fun because you see them and you like,
hey, remember they smell funny
because half of
like mothballs.
Half of them look timid. Like
yeah, they do. They look
because remember, like when you walk across the base, you can't go nowhere by yourself. You gotta have a partner.
Yes.
And then you see people walking
and they always gotta walk at double time.
Correct. And then at the two, then they gotta remember salute. Then they gotta remember to salute cars and trying to say the car coming in. So it's like they walk in
every car. Well, we saluted every car. Let's just call a spade a spade.
So they walk in and they extra hyper alert because they licking and then they trying to avoid people with stripes. So it's like it's just like watching it now. It's like it's funny, but then too, it's not as hard because now they got it's too hot outside. We got the cards. You don't have to walk double time anymore because
it's different.
Yeah, it's different. So I'm just but it's funny when you see it. When I first went back, like today, it's not what it even was 10 years ago. You know what I'm trying to say?
You can't even cuss at recruits right now.
Exactly. So like 10 years ago was hilarious. Now it's like, how y'all gonna protect something?
That's scary. Because you can't even talk too harsh to them.
Exactly.
So fragile.
Is it really that bad? I really don't know. I've been out a while.
They literally have timeout cards.
Yeah, they have timeout cards. You can't yell at them.
If they're feeling stressed, they can pull a timeout card to be relieved from the stress.
Yep. So we talked about that last time we were together, Lloyd. But when I went into '98, and I remember them talking about it.
Yeah.
But it never existed. It was just like a myth.
It was a rumor.
Right.
It was a rumor, a myth. Nobody ever saw these things. Maybe the Army doesn't have it. Maybe the Air Force has it.
Right.
Maybe it's somewhere else. It's not here though.
The Navy got it. You know what I'm trying to
Right. So when I was getting ready to leave New Orleans, I was trying to get ready to leave New Orleans. This was it was just after Katrina. I came up here to Great Lakes. I was on their traveling team, and I interviewed for RDC up here. And so I was able to go on the base. I got to see the base. That was the first time I went back on the reserve on a recruit base. as a petty officer, right? Senior petty officer walk around, you see these kids salute you. I'm like, man, salute these little people, man.
You're like, stop. You start walking away from them because you don't want to salute.
Yeah, because I don't want to salute them no more, right? But it was an opportunity for me to get on that base and see things. And I was talking to I knew a bunch of people that was pushing boots over there. The one person that was like, man, you need to get up here. My buddy, man, Monique Greenwich, that's my partner. She's right now the senior enlisted at JRB, NRB at NAS JRB Bell Chase or New Orleans. She's actually the senior enlisted of that base, so she's come a long way. I met her when she was a second class, and now she's a very senior E9. So, but what's funny was I'll go there and I'm going through this process of, applying and going through the interview process. You're seeing all these kids first time on that base. And I get there and it's like, man, this is crazy the way these kids keep saluting me. Like you said, I'm running trying to get away from them. They all smell like mothballs. They look weird. Their hair is funny looking because some of them, their hair is growing back and, they only did the height. They don't get the taper. Some of them looking cue-balled up with that little raggedy haircut that you get when you first come into the military.
Your identifier.
Your identifier. Literally, your identifier, right?
That's how you know who knew. Got this bowl haircut with no fade. What the?
Right.
Yeah. With the birth control glasses.
Right. So I go there and I'm talking to her and I'm like, man, I mean, how is it working with these kids? She said, man, she said they are fragile as crackers. I said, what you can't do nothing to them without them. They falling out. They've been given these freaking timeout cards. I'm like, what? Are you serious? This is real. She said, yes. These timeout cards. This was 2005, 2006 time frame. I say timeout cards. What you mean? Timeout cards. She said we can't cuss at them. We can yell at them to a certain degree. I'm like, you got to be joking me. These are what we're supplying to the fleet. These right here. We're supplying this. These right here are on battleships.
I want to say that during my basic, my drill sergeants weren't really swearing either.
Mine did.
But they were saying freaking like it was the F-bomb.
Yeah.
Like, freaking privates and freaking this.
You know what? I want to say it was my year, 89 was one of the last years that they were using profanity. Because it was somebody not too far, the same year in 89 wrote their congressman about the way they were getting treated in boot camp. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You wrote your congressman because of the way you were getting treated in boot camp. It's boot camp. You're supposed to go through hell. It's not supposed to be easy. Man, it's preparing. It's supposed to boot camp, basically train. It's supposed to strip all that civilian off of you and get you basically military trained so that when you go out into the world, into the fleet or to whatever battalion or platoon or whatever you go to, they can put all the things that they need you to have so that you could be a successful soldier, airman, sailor.
You know the funny thing about that? And that is so true. And yet I know so many people that did not complete boot camp who say they are mentally disturbed and they get 95%.
That's ridiculous.
Didn't even complete boot camp.
I would like just 5. I would like 5%. That'd be nice.
Who are you telling?
What you mean? You don't have 5%?
I don't got nothing.
Why?
Well, I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
How I gotta get it.
Did you hear him? He's got nothing. We're gonna get him straight. TD is her guy.
TD's my guy.
TD's gonna get you straight. I got another guy, but he's in Gurnee. I don't know if you want to come that far.
Why not? It's up north.
So the Gurnee guy. Let me tell you about the Gurnee guy. The Gurnee guy, his ultimate goal in life is get everybody that come in front of his desk 100%.
I need that guy then.
Yeah, I need that guy.
I'm actually going to see that guy myself. So He said, "Yes, we will."
make it a family trip.
I'm gonna be. I got his information. You know what? I'll make sure I send it to both of you guys. Y'all can get the information. I got his information so I can pass it to a guy that I met. Every military brother that I run across that I know is challenged by their still challenged, I could see it all over this guy that he has PTSD. He's describing to what he went through, and he has zero disability. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have nothing? I don't have nothing. I could see it on him that this dude is hurting, like right there. I got the information. I think I'm gonna get you in front of somebody that's gonna help you. The problem that we have with a lot of our soldiers, GIs, is that they're prideful. I'm good. I don't need, man. You out your mind. You're out your mind. When I tell you, and I'm gonna show you, you're gonna love this. You're gonna be mad at me, but you're gonna love this. At 100%, at 80%, that's over $2,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's over $2,000 a month.
I ain't picky. I just want 50.
What does that pay? What can that buy you? Oh, let me back up. $2,000 a month. That's never late. It's never affected by any government money because it's its own pot of money. It's never late.
I'm gonna say this to you. See,
where do balloons come from?
See, God has a plan.
Tony, like
a balloon just popped out of nowhere. Like, hey, you got 80%. It's like a car salesman.
You see that dude waving his arms like that behind me?
I'm gonna say it like this. It wasn't meant for me to get that when you got yours, because I'm just saying I'll be straight ignorant if I had $2,000 coming a month.
No, you won't. You'll be so happy.
You'll be trying to
figure out how to get to 100% is where you'll be going.
That would be my unnecessary car money. You know, just like, you know what I can do with $2,000 a month? I ain't got to
put it to you like this. I'm 70%. For me to get to 100%, the amount of money I get doubles.
So at 70, you get a tax write-off too, or something's taxes, right? With housing taxes or something.
Yes. So just 70% gets you.
That's all I want. You just take my taxes away.
You're tax exempt on your home. My home taxes is $14,000 a year. I don't have to pay that.
Like I said, that's all I want. You take these taxes away.
We talked about that, Tony. We talked about that on the boat.
We did.
Yes, we did. You want
that was a day that my neck hurt. I'm like, every room we went into in that ginormous house.
But now, you know, I have yet to edit those videos yet. I got so much content from that drive, from that whole experience. I'm having a show moment right now, trying to edit that video. He know what it means.
Too much content.
It's a lot of content.
Not enough time today.
Not enough time today. It takes time to play with that stuff. Tony knows. Tony edits on his phone when he does stuff, so he knows.
I do, but I don't do full on 15-minute videos like you guys are. I don't do all that.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, those freaking 360 videos are as challenging as editing a regular video. Not only
I don't like those either.
You clean up stuff also. You go through and clean up the photos, clean up images. You take stuff out that don't need to be in your shots.
But that's more my pictures, not my video, though. I do my pictures.
You did that in that video. You don't remember?
Which one?
One of the videos at the mansion.
The only one I posted was the flag on the boat, and then I did the aerial.
Yeah.
From the drone.
It was the aerial.
Yeah, I did the drone one, but I didn't even edit that. I just added music.
Not 360. It was the drone video.
That's the drone,
right. Yeah. We'll talk about that another time. There, IS. How I Met My Wife.
So like I did.
85.
So TD writes, I did basic at Leonard Wood in '99,
Yes.
and the military police reclass in 2005, and demobbed in 2006. Then I did ALC Phase 3 in 2016 at Leonard Wood, all at Leonard Wood. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of Leonard Wood.
What's ALC?
That one I don't know. Advanced learning.
ALC.
I think maybe.
It's a leadership. Is it some kind of leadership course?
Yeah,
leadership
Oh, maybe it is advanced leadership.
Advanced
Yeah, for when I was in, they still call that PLDC.
It's E7, E8, E9, right? Advanced leadership.
I think he's 6,
Yeah.
man.
E7, E8, E9.
At E6 school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
E6 school. Okay, gotcha. Man.
That's a lot of Lost in the Woods.
Yeah, man. A lot. That's
a lot of Lost in the Woods.
Oh my God.
I gotta get back over here, man. They text me like crazy.
Go ahead, man. Your 22 minutes are up. Yes, indeed. Oh my God. So
yes, it is.
Bruh. No, that's we definitely got to get you a claim in, bro. For real.
I feel that I would like one.
We need to do it before you retire too, so you can at least stack some of it, and then it will be available to you once you retire.
I would like to have that in conjunction with my pension.
Yes,
it'd be pretty. You know.
Oh, it'd be great, especially. Good Lord, just 70%, because when you eliminate the taxes, that's it's beautiful. It's like getting a raise.
I don't pay as much in taxes as you do. I think mine is 8,000.
Imagine getting that back.
I would
pay that. That's an $8,000 raise.
That's
I've never paid taxes, so I don't know what it feels like to have to pay homeowners taxes in Illinois. In New Orleans, my homeowners tax was like $700, $800. It wasn't expensive at all. Up here, God, what I paid a year, I pay a month.
Yeah. It's not fair. I don't want. I was just looking at my pay stub. I just for as much as I get paid, I got like just a little over half net. That's disgusting.
Ridiculous.
Disgusting.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
I need to borrow somebody's children so I could claim them for my taxes.
Lefty in the building. The enforcer.
What's up, Lefty?
Lefty in the building. Lefty, we doing some military talk, man. Some veteran talk. It's it's kind of, for me, it's so like the picture you sent.
Yeah.
This actually was one I was going to use just to let you know. And
it's a good one. Can you put it up here for?
I'm about to put it up here right now. So what I like about this picture, one of the first jobs I had when I came in as a reservist, I worked with Seabees. Seabees in the Navy are like your civil engineers, right? Civil engineers are the guys that when you're going into a new area in the woods, they are the guys that's going to get you, like any other civil engineering career that you think in the world. They're going to get you plumbing. They're going to build you houses. They're going to get you water. They're going to get all the things that you need to live, right? Yeah. But this picture right here is a classic, in my opinion, CB picture. And let me show you why I say that. Because CBs, I don't know are you familiar with CBs?
I know the term. I've never met any.
So the logo for a CB, I'll show you. Let me see if I can blow it up. Right here. So this is the logo for a CB. All right. You see it? He's got a wrench, a hammer, and a gun. Right? You see, he got his little sailor cap on. This is the CBs. This is their logo. As long as I've been in the military, this is their current logo. It's been like this forever. Can-do attitude. That's their attitude. What was interesting about CB's also, they love to shoot and they love to grill. We'll be in the woods, we'll kill a pig or something, we'll have food and we'll grill and we'll shoot guns. That's two of my favorite things to do.
Shoot and eat.
Shoot and eat. I'm just saying. Shoot and grill, man. It was so your picture, in my opinion.
So
I drag you in front of some CBs, they'll make you a brother.
so a funny story about this. So this was taken in Bagram.
Okay.
When I was in Afghanistan in 04, 05. And Bagram was pretty well established, well built up as a Afghanistan base. And so when we get there, we're like, this is not deployment. This is kind of nice. This is
No, like
they had steak and lobster in the DFAC every Friday.
Looking, so although I do see this, I see like seafood over here. What's going on? That's crab, isn't it?
You know what? I don't think there was any seafood during this time. I think it was like all this meat came from the DFAC.
Maybe
so we just went over there. Like we went over there. It's like, hey, we'll grill our own meat. Just whatever you have, we'll do our own grilling instead of coming to the DFAC. So they're like, here, take it. It's like food for everybody. Like, here you go. So the only thing is we didn't have any barbecue sauce. So I had to send people, and like I had friends that were still in Alaska. They sent me barbecue sauce from Alaska. I didn't get barbecue sauce from Chicago. I got it from Alaska. So like,
that's classic military though.
Yeah. So they hooked me up. They sent it on on a ship or on a plane.
The logo, right? What did it say? Can do.
Oh.
You will get some barbecue sauce.
I got the barbecue sauce from the fire department in Alaska.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. That's kind of cool.
And so I wasn't working the grill the entire time like this. Like that was more for photos. We had a guy in his PTs. He was pretty much like our chef. He looked like chef from South Park.
Are you serious?
He's like, my chocolate salted balls, like like yeah, that was him. He was Isaac Hayes of for us.
That's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And he said he went there. He loved going to Bagram for fake R&R.
Right?
Yeah. So why was it fake R&R?
It really is. He's right. It's just so built up. Everything is there. You have your internet.
It felt like you were recreational. It felt like you were rest and relaxation as opposed to actually being in theater.
The only thing that you end up doing is the worst part of Bagram is that's where all the brass is at. So if you're walking to the DFAC, walking to the Shopette, or they even had a Burger King, that you are saluting down the wall, like bam, bam, bam. Like, come on, like the officers need to go walk on a different side of the street because you're just saluting the entire time.
He said it was better than FOB. What?
Oh, the fob, better than the fob. Which fob were you at, TD? I was at Shindan. I was like 80. I think it's like 80 miles away from the Iranian border. Yeah, FOB is forward operating base.
Mm-hmm. My last command, my last place where I toured was out of Great Lakes, and I worked a lot with Fort Sheridan. So I was at an intel unit there, and so I spent a lot of time in the doing all the cryptology stuff. So I was pulling down messages, spending a lot of time in the
Camp Eggers. Yeah, that one I don't know. I know the town Kabul, but I didn't know Camp Eggers.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with the Army guys doing intel. It was a different world. No complaints though. It was chill.
What? Army intelligence? Stop
Yeah.
it. Stop it.
Yeah.
That's not real.
I know it's kind of weird to say, but yeah, it's like an oxymoron here.
Right?
Army intelligence.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it.
Those
such
things
thing.
even go together.
No such thing.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time in the skiff, pulling messages and doing stuff with that, and yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, my mission is I was a fireman, and Army doesn't really have a whole lot of firefighters anyway.
Mhm.
So before I got deployed, I was active duty, and I was active duty in Alaska. And then when I got out of active duty, went to reserves, went to Madison, Wisconsin for my reserve time, did another 4 years there, and that's when I got deployed. But I didn't get deployed out of Madison. They sent me to Indiana because Indiana unit did not have the personnel to get deployed, so they just started pulling people. Like they stripped multiple other battalions just so they could fill their slots.
Oh
of people.
wow!
Which was like what a horrible idea to do, because now you have a smaller unit that doesn't know anybody, it's never trained together, and then you're like, who are these people? Why am I sent down here to Indiana?
Wow.
And you want to talk about culture shock? I thought it was culture shock going from active duty to reserves. You're like, just the sloppiness, the sloppiness.
It is. When I was reservist, I did not. I thought it was the hardest thing in the world to do. I would rather be on active duty than be in a reserve. To me,
I disagree. I think if you were to ask me then, like right off the bat, I would say active duty was better.
All day long,
for sure. But over time, as being a reservist, I'm like, you know what? This is better. I like this better. It fits more with me than being Army all the time.
Gotcha.
So I like the reserves. I had a good time. The only bad time I had was in this unit out in Indiana that they were so messed up. Like they give you. I'm like, there's one thing when you stand in formation. You stand in formation. You get, it's pretty basic. You learn this very early on, how to stand and work, how to stand, do your thing. These guys.
Why am I big?
You're swole.
I swole up. What just happened? How did I get big?
I don't know. I don't know how you have balloons at times, but there they are. But there was this one. I can tell my story. Is that there was this one guy in my squad that's from that Indiana unit in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That he's first sergeant out there. We got everybody all lined up, and this guy's got like his BDUs are like half unbuttoned. He's just too fat for his clothes. And he goes, "Hey, first sergeant!" And he like grabs his balls, like, "Hey, first sergeant, look at my balls!" I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, and first sergeant is an old man. He had to be like in his like late 50s. He looked like he was 60.
Oh my God!
Like everything about this, I'm like, I'm going to war with these people. I am scared. I don't want to go. So
that, in my opinion, that makes really. Let me tell you something, man. Reservists, for me, because you've had exposure to active duty, that's one thing. But when you look at reservists and what they're responsible for first of all, being a civilian. Then they got to turn on military for weekends, turn off, be a civilian again. And then for 2 weeks a month, 2 weeks a year, they got to turn on being military. And if something happens, they're usually the first to go. I didn't want to be bothered with reservists like that. I did not want to be a reservist. I couldn't. I felt like it was harder, especially because of the command that I worked at. We managed and administered reservists, right? Programs. When I traveled, I was traveling from reserve center to reserve center, teaching the active duty how to properly manage their reserve programs. So, good Lord. I couldn't fathom doing what they have to do. When 9/11 happened, I was on a computer picking out who need to go where when. All the reservists. I was selecting people to go to war.
No, you didn't send me. I was active duty during 9/11.
I was only sending Navy. I wouldn't send an Army. I had a whole list of Navy guys that had to go someplace other than where they were.
I wanted to go to, because as a fireman, I was in Alaska. I was like they just had their whole shift wiped out in a single day. I'm like, they're gonna need people. I'm like, send me. We're already trained. I'm like, send us. You don't need us up here. We'll go and fill their firehouse until they can restaff it. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, we could do this and build their firehouse.
Bro, he said he is in the Guard. He's retiring from the same unit he enlisted in. Wow. Yes, I left and came back. That is wild. For me, the closest I can get to that is joining the Navy. I went to boot camp at Great Lakes and I retired out of Great Lakes. That's the closest I can get to that.
First sergeant. Good for you. I couldn't stick it out that long.
You said I met all the same standards. Oh my God.
That's a long time, PD. Good for you.
It was a different world. And I don't know. I felt like it was just way more. You know, they were responsible. Although it was, maybe I put it to like this, because you on active duty, you're doing it all the time. It's second nature. When you're a reservist, you got to turn it on and off. You got to know how to be military when you're on a base, and then you turn it off when you go home for a whole month. Come back and do it all over again next month. But you still got to be sharp. You got to be on it. You can't miss nothing, because you treat it like everybody else on the base. They're not going to say, well, he's just a reservist. No, they don't say that.
Well, you don't know, right? You don't really. I guess you do know when you're talking to a reservist. You're like, oh boy. But like I said, I came from active duty first, and then reserves. Like I said, at first I hated it. I learned to like it. I preferred it over active duty towards the end.
I hated it.
There you go.
Yeah,
you got small again.
Yeah, I had to go and turn on a tool that helps me get small again. Your favorite part. Oh my God. Yeah, man. Again, when I first joined, I was in a reserve. I didn't want to play reserve. While I was reserve, I did a lot of recalls on active duty. My recalls were, 1 year, 18 months at a time, all on Admiral staff doing stuff over there. So when it was time for me to, when those programs was coming to an end, or those fundings were coming to an end, it was like, what do you want to do? You want to go drill again, or you want to? I'm like, man, I want to be I'd rather be on active duty. So I did like 4.5 years of, they call OIRs, 1 year recalls, 6 months, 18-month recalls to active duty, but all right there at home in New Orleans. And then once I decided to cross over and go back on active duty, when I raised my hand and got picked up, I was at NRPC when I re-enlisted as active duty. They sent me to NASDRB Belle Chase, or New Orleans, which is just right on the other side of the river. From that, after I finished there, they sent me back to the place where I was on Admiral staff. After I finished on Admiral staff, I went back to the command that I first started at, NRPC, but on this RPMAT team. And from there, I finally left the city. I was trying to leave before that. I just couldn't go. I tried to go to
some people join the military to see the world. You just didn't see shit.
I tried to go and say there was a job in Italy that I tried to get. at the embassy in Italy, and because we had a brand new baby, they was like, I don't think it's a good move, so let's look at something else. They sent me to this other base. Then I tried to get a ship out of when I was on Admiral Staff. After I didn't go to Italy, I went to Admiral Staff. Out of there, I tried to get a ship and go to sea. I need to get away from New Orleans. It's time to go. It was like, we don't have any ships available to you. How about you go here? Like, what? No ships available for me now? We don't have any space because at the time I was a first class or E6.
Your ship is sailed.
First class, the amount of jobs, they start shrinking. The higher you go up in rank, the amount of jobs available to you get smaller and smaller and smaller. So there were very few opportunities for me as a E6 on a ship at that time. So I went and did this traveling team. It was still considered arduous duty because of the amount of travel that you did, but I'll take it because it was actually fun. I had such a great time. It was a great time. I've never thought I'll go to the airport and people recognize me. We traveled so much. The people knew us. They just knew us. Hey, where you going at now? They just knew us. Everywhere we went, we traveled a lot. Commercially. Not on military planes. I don't think we ever flew military when we was on RP Map. It was all commercial. Such a great time. It's about the support system, active duty have, leave our lives and years. For real. Year at a time, bro. For real. You're absolutely right. It's just different, man.
And before September 11th, there was no, I don't remember anybody ever having year-long deployments or longer. Like that was post September 11 when that started happening. Like I felt like everyone else's deployments were shorter. For Desert Storm, they like all these overseas deployments were just short, like war support.
All the arduous duty deployments, yeah, they were. I believe they didn't have that many. Remember, it was a Cold War too. It was different then. So I was in from, good Lord, I saw Desert Storm and I saw 9/11. So I got two national defense ribbons. So I saw two conflicts while I was in. But in between the two, once everything died down after Baby Bush put that to bed, it did get really quiet. Of course, the country was different then.
Yeah.
We were way more secure than what we feel now. It just, life just felt whole different. 9/11 shook the world. It was so different. Everything after 9/11 changed.
Like I remember how life on base was changed overnight. You know, I was at Fort Wainwright, Alaska. So I was at Fort Wainwright, Alaska during that time, and I remember from overnight we went from I think we were talking about earlier. You guys were talking about earlier. Like you can get on base, you show an ID, no big deal, easy in and out.
Your windows were rolled up. You in your car, they see your decal, they flag you in.
You got your sticker on the windshield. You're like off you go.
Yes.
Right after that, the base had like 4 different entrances. All of them shut down, but down to one. It was down to one, and then there was a line because I lived off post. So for me to get in to come into work and come in to do PT, I had to wait to get through.
I wish I could find that picture. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
And so once we finally made it in, like there was people that, because I was on post at the time it happened. So there was people coming in from off post, like calling, like, "Hey, we can't make it into work." Like, "Hey, we're hold down the firehouse until you get here." You know, once we understand everything's locked down. It was really bad. The change bad. Though, it was crazy bad. But the big change was that obviously there's no airplanes in the sky. Really weird.
Yep. Oh my God, that was eerie. It was
That was
really
eerie. There's
eerie.
no airplanes.
Yeah.
Then there's the where the posts look like you were in a small town, right? Or you're in a neighborhood, small town. Everybody's out playing, playing baseball,
Put
football,
on
throwing
base.
stuff on base. Not that day, and not ever since after that. That once I left Alaska, it never came back to being normal. It was all of a sudden everyone's in their fatigues. You don't see no families anywhere. All the families were hidden, gone.
Yes.
Like it just was. We were now like this was war, prepping for war looks like.
Yes.
Like
yes. So
it was so surreal.
I was stationed in New Orleans when 9/11 hit. I'll show you. I'll give you an idea what I'm talking about, right? So this is the base that I was talking about that I was on. Share. This was the Port of Invocations, right? The Port of Invocations was basically in what they call Bywater, Bywater area of New Orleans. So it's the north of the, not north, it's kind of west of the Lower Ninth Ward. So this is why I grew up down here, right? I grew up down there, but I end up being stationed right here, right? Before 9/11, you talked about all the different ways. This one base, right? You were able to get on over here, this north side of the base. There was an entrance here. This was the main gate to get on the base. There was a small gate right here that you was to walk on or drive the duty vehicles here, or you was able to pull in down here at this corner of the base. When 9/11 hit, it was the only place you could get on. So all the traffic, bro, used to be all the way down here, all the way down Charters, all the way up Poland, almost to the bridge. Traffic was horrible, man. Absolutely horrible. Next time y'all get a chance to go to New Orleans, y'all got to go find Jack Dempsey's and go eat at Jack Dempsey's. Y'all love it. Great food,
All right.
great food, great seafood, phenomenal seafood. Jack Dempsey's. Get the redfish platter. You'll fall in love. I'm just trying to help you out. But this is the base. So the movie, that television show and video game.
Oh, you're talking about that Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal. It was filmed. Part of that was filmed on this base. It's not a base anymore, but it's filmed here. As you can see, like this, the picture that come up is actually NASJRB. I actually got a picture of me getting an award on this podium right up in front on the main part of this base. And now it's all graffitied over. It looks like it looks horrible. But yeah, man. Let me see if I can zoom in. You can see what I'm talking about.
Yep. Drop your little guy. Oh,
I got a picture of me getting an award right here, standing in front of the man, getting an award. I think I was a seaman at the time. I think it was a blue jacket of the quarter or something like that. That's like the top junior sailor. Get my little award, standing right there. And look at this base. It looks ridiculous now.
That's a horrible to look at. You're like, wow, it used to be something better.
It used to be beautiful, man. It used to be they took care of it. This was an opening, and this was an opening where you pull in the. Yeah, we used to have every retirement ceremony, every change of command, all that was right here. There was so many different commands in this one building. Each floor was a different command. Each floor had its own UIC. It was that many different commands in here. In between this was a big parking garage, and on the back side of that, when you saw the three buildings, was all Marines. All this building was Navy. The other building in the rear was all Marines.
That's sad. It
is, man, when you think about it.
That is really sad.
I spend so much of my career right here. Right here. I can't tell you how many times I've crossed these train tracks to go in through this building, to drive up this parking garage, to go up into here. I can't tell you how many times I've done it. That's Jack Dempsey's right there. Jack Dempsey's has been standing from the beginning of my career until now, and they still have great food. So
they should go and spray paint the building too. Say, come eat at Jack's.
I know. Oh my God, bro! Look at this. I can't tell you how many times I drove up this ramp. I cannot tell you. But it's, that's how things change. You know what I mean? That's how things change. Bananas. Absolutely.
I imagine Fort Leonard looks exactly the same.
Any of those dates that they closed down probably does.
Well, no, Fort Leonard was not closed. I imagine it looked exactly the same as it did when I went there.
Oh, look at like that.
20 plus years ago.
Because this is right off the river, they really could have used this for something different. Like this could have been the port for all cruise ships. They could have created some type of lodging up here, shopping, the whole nine, parking for the cruise ships that go and come right back here. This could have been perfect because it's right off the river. I mean, right now, the cruise ships, if they're still doing it, it's closer to downtown when they come in and leave out of New Orleans. Like, why not? It makes sense. Let me see if I can. Oh, Lord, I'm way back here. 5,500. Why do I still know the address? Because I grew up at 5,500 Dauphine and I worked at 4,400 Dauphine.
You walk.
Yeah. Well, it's across the river, across the industrial canal. So when I was a kid, I lived down here. Dauphine, Alabo. Let's flood. Right here. This is the corner house I lived in. Oh, it's nicer now. It's much nicer now. But see, they still got merchant ships. There used to be a lot of merchant ships out here. This would be perfect for cruise ships if they would have really tried to invest in this property and do something good with it. It would have been perfect. Cruise ships could have been here. They could have had parking in this building. They could have created lodging and shopping in these other two buildings, but they didn't. Oh, well. Now the cruise ships, you get on a cruise ship right over here and look, they probably got a cruise ship right there.
Yeah, it makes me wonder why the government even holds on to that property at all.
Exactly.
Like
it's almost like they wanted to just dilapidate into nothing, just crumble to the ground.
Yeah, but I imagine it draws some sort of criminal element to it because there's nobody there.
And the lower Ninth Ward too, I'm sure. Just watch Twisted Metal. You'll see just how dark they made it look. You see,
I did watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, they filmed on that base. They filmed
that. Yeah, so that I didn't know.
One of those scenes when he had to go there and see this guy, and they had to walk in between these buildings, and they had an entrance, right? That was right here. They created that right here in between these buildings. You see the platforms on each side, and they had to walk up, and they had all these guards or people trying to keep you out, and they was going to see this one.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember that one.
Right here.
Yeah.
That was right here in between these buildings. You was able to see this thing, that crosswalk in that video, in that part of that video.
I'll have to go back and watch it because I didn't know the location.
Yeah. A lot of us went to high school together and watched other children grow up. That's the cool part. My brother-in-law was, when I talked about, I think I mentioned that one of these times, running. I used to do a lot of running. I used to run from my house, out the door, up the levee. I'll run the levee all the way to the bridge, back down the bridge, down to Jackson Barracks. Jackson Barracks is right here. It spans all the way across here. It's an Army National Guard base. It's long, all the way from Florida Avenue, all the way to the river was Jackson Barracks. My brother-in-law and some of his unit, the guys that he worked with, they had interesting jobs, and I never knew that existed, right? The job that he does full-time as a civilian, he does the exact same thing as in the same office, the same everything as a reservist. I was like, man, that's wild. National Guardsman. I'm like, I never knew they had that available. Like, what?
Yeah, I learned that when I was in the reserves too, that there was your full-time reservist or pretty much active duty. So, but all they did was they would, while no drills were going on, they would dress as civilians. They wouldn't wear their uniforms, and then until the drill weekend, they would wear their uniform on the drill weekend.
Yep. I didn't know a thing existed.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I
I
had
got the
no
reserves.
idea until my brother-in-law, who's he retired Air National Guardsman, you know, and I started meeting some of the guys that he worked with, and I'm like, that's wild. And Jackson Barracks separates New Orleans or Orleans Parish from St. Bernard Parish, Araby, and all that other stuff. It's like the county line or parish line. We don't have counties up there. We have parishes. So all this down here is the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans. This is where I grew up. All down here. My old stomping grounds.
It's very green.
Yeah. It's green down there, bro. People grew stuff. Like the city. This used to be all swamp, you know, and they
I want to say I could see it being swampland at one point.
Yep, used to be swampland. My grandparents had a house on the corner of Claiborne and Russia Blade. Where is Russia Blade? Not Claiborne, Russia Blade, and right here, Rooferneck. This house got no house there now, but my grandfather's house was picked up and moved. This was his driveway. The foundation, it wasn't a foundation because the house sat on stilts, right? On the blocks, it was off the ground.
Yeah.
This house got picked up during Katrina and moved all the way down here in between another house and a truck, like 2 blocks down.
Anybody in it? Hopefully not.
They were all gone.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time growing up at 2330 Rooferneck, my friend. Lots of time.
Make it sound like you did time. Like I did time.
But the cool part when, you know, again, I love my grandparents. When I was stationed here, I probably lived in Slidell. I lived in the East. I would always go and visit my grandparents during like my lunch break. I had a lot. I miss that. That used to be such a treat for me. Go spend some time with my grandfather, spend some time with my grandmother over my lunch break. It was right there. I couldn't beat it. 10 minutes away. I'm there. I did that for a long time. Mechanic on drill, mech on Monday through Friday. I'm not mad at you, man. Now I'm a first sergeant on artillery battery, but shop foreman, the motor pool during the month. Gotcha. So that's why you talking about they were talking about trying to get the vehicles ready.
Yeah, that's first sergeant's the motor daddy also. Oh boy.
Over there getting it done. Not mad.
Yeah, like ain't nobody gonna be breaking down.
For real. Uh-oh, where's my wife at? She's in Huntley. Wife was in the city. No, she's not staying there. Crap, I gotta move my car. I'm in her way.
Oh, Nicole's on her way back from Georgia now.
I saw that picture. I saw what she posted driving back from Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, she had her storage unit broken into out there. They like broke into like a bunch of storage units.
Oh, that sucks.
So she went down there to go and see what was taken, find if there's anything taken, do the police report, and then bring back stuff. She ended up like went on Facebook Marketplace, like just for free, come get it, just so she can leave nothing behind and close her storage unit. Yeah.
That sucks, man. That's why people can't have nice things.
It does suck, but you know she got to do a road trip by herself. She got some alone time away from me, so she's happy.
Here we go. I don't think it's just a long time away from you, but one thing I can say, road trips are fun. I mean,
she got a rental car too. She got a Jeep Wagoneer to go do the trip.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah. We don't have anything big for to go get stuff. And she asked around for like a Sprinter van, and nobody had anything available. So
those new Wagoneers are nice. She couldn't find a Sprinter van.
Couldn't find one that. I mean, she couldn't find one that somebody already has, like any of our friends.
Yeah.
And then to rent one was really expensive.
Yeah, that would have been perfect because she could have loaded that thing up with all kind of stuff.
Like, yeah, she even tried to see if she can get one from down there and then bring it back. And like take a rental car from here, drop it off down there, and then do the other way, the back trip with a different car.
Yeah.
This was the most cost-effective way of doing it with the Wagoneer. And she's like, she didn't even feel it. She gave away a lot of stuff.
That sucks. That absolutely sucked. I'm sorry she had to deal with that. I thought it was more business or pleasure. I didn't realize it was dealing with foolishness.
Foolishness. Yeah.
That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope the drive was worth it. Let me just say that. I really hope the drive was worth it.
As far as I know, she's listening to audio books and you know, and maybe some music. I don't know. It's I know she stopped at Buc-ee's. She sent me a lot of photos from Buc-ee's.
I saw the Buc-ee's photo.
Buc-ee's and Publix.
Yes. Yeah, that's the stuff you get in the South, baby. Only in the South. Only in the South.
She's like look, like they had like what do you got? Let me see if I can find it real quick. There was she sent me a picture of like now hiring at Buc-ee's and how much they're offering their employees. I'm like, I'll quit my job and go work there.
How much are they offering?
I gotta pull up the picture real quick.
Some of them places actually, like Aldi's and all those places, these people are part owners. They are literally part owners.
Here, I want to see if I can get this for your screen.
Hold up, I'll blow you up.
There he is.
Are you serious?
Right? So
what? Food service manager?
You could be the restroom crew and make $20 an hour.
Bro.
But yeah, like I'll quit my job to be a gift manager and car wash manager. You kidding me? You know how far that money would go in any other state?
Especially down there in the South.
Yeah.
It is a whole lot cheaper to live.
That's a lot of money.
God. Buc-ee's brisket sandwich. Oh my God.
I've never had it. I never lived where there were the Buc-ee's, so
I've heard about it, man. I can't say I've ever had the brisket sandwich. I would love to maybe one day be blessed to have the Buc-ee's brisket sandwich. I have not had one.
Oh, so since for TD, we'll give that one to TD right there.
What's that? The scan code? Hold on.
Yeah, scan the code to apply it for the jobs.
There you go, TD. Don't scan so you can apply for those gigs. What? We got to go get jobs at Buc-ee's.
Right?
Buc-ee's is playing well.
I'm surprised you guys are still on.
I'm surprised you came back. How's your dog?
Good, man. These are good stories, bro.
Yeah, we came home for a few. They got Jackson for surgery now, so
okay.
They said they'll give us a call and all that once he's done and out.
Are you picking him up tonight?
Yeah.
Man, sorry y'all had to go through that. Poor Jaxie.
Yeah. Well, apparently he held his own. Found out with one of the neighbors. Apparently, Jackson went up against a Cane Corso.
What?
Yeah.
That's a lot of dog.
Yeah, well, mine, he's half German Shepherd, half Belgian Malinois.
My God, bro. King. Oh, my goodness. Sheesh.
Then they did find another little puncture wound, but they said they're just going to clean it and all that stuff, so.
Man, I'm glad he's all right.
Yeah.
That could have been way worse, especially with two dogs on him.
Oh,
That could have been way worse.
No, I mean, Jack's about 2 years ago took down a 68-pound coyote.
What? Oh my god.
I've seen Roadrunners do that too. It's not that big deal.
Wait, said it again.
I've seen a Roadrunner do the same thing. It's not a big deal.
Meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already told Holly after today, I'm done with all the threes with everything, getting pulled over this morning. Then the contractor dude not even showing up or with everything, and then this.
Yeah, bro, you had a day.
Yeah.
You definitely had a day.
I'm actually scared to go to the new house tomorrow and pull the vet out.
No, don't go.
No, you can't pull a new vet out today. Tomorrow's a different day. It's gonna all be better tomorrow.
Also, you get a refresh. You get a refresh in 2 hours.
There you go.
Well, maybe I'll turn around and go get the ZL1 tomorrow and take that out for a rip.
There you go. Not a bad idea.
Well, no, because I have to go to the DMV and do everything tomorrow too, and then run to the bank.
I say, why not?
Maybe I'll buy a fourth. Maybe I'll buy a fourth car.
Why not?
Oh, you definitely are robbing the bank then.
Freaking guy, I tell you.
Yeah, I'll just tell Holly all the money for the furniture. Hey, I found a GTR. Oops.
It comes with seats. It's got furniture.
Hey, we can use a dash as a table.
Yeah.
Turn around and tell her with everything Jax went through, I bought him a GTR.
You got to make it.
It'll make him feel so much better.
Yeah, man.
Oh, what? I even told her we should just get him a car that way for his vet visits, going to the park, all that. We could take his car and not put the mileage on ours.
I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me. I think that's a great.
But I got called an idiot and said that's not logical. So
it makes sense to me. I mean, look, he said he deserves it.
He deserves it.
He'll say he deserves it. After all he's been through, he deserves it.
No, yeah. So, but yeah, we're just waiting. They're gonna take care of everything, and yeah, wasn't expecting this bill tonight, but
yeah, I bet you weren't.
Oh, I've been down this road too. I was earlier this year. I had emergency vet visit while we were flying back from New Mexico. So our house sitter was like, your dog is puking and pooping everywhere, and she's lethargic and like she's wigging out, and like we can't do anything because we're on our in between flights. Like we can't help. But I left a credit card, here for the emergency vet bill if it happened. I was hoping it wasn't going to happen. My God. So we get back. It's like midnight at Midway. We go up to, I forget what suburb, but it's in like a northern suburb, and go visit my dog. I'm like, my dog's gonna die. She's 13 years old. I did not want this to happen while we were gone. But she's like $5,000 later. My dog is happier. I have no idea what was wrong with her. But yeah, she's like, oh, you're home? Thank God. It's
$5,000 later.
$5,000 later. But they're like, but the vet couldn't even tell me what was wrong with my dog. They gave her some fluids, some antibiotics, and she like perked right up. But like, what was wrong with my dog? I don't know. We want to do more tests. Like, absolutely not. You've ran out of money. My dog deserves a fucking Corvette.
yeah.
You say anything behind that dog's eating grass.
Yeah, the estimate they gave us on the low end is 3,400. The high end is at 4. But Lloyd already knows I have no problem coughing up money for my dog compared to my woman. So,
oh, you can't cough up women, so you cough up money to your woman? I don't blame you.
Dog is a priority.
I was already nice. I bought her a brand new Tahoe. So there's for the next 20 years.
The puppy is the priority.
Don't do it. Never mess with a woman's house money.
Well, technically, it's my money, but.
Joe said he's shaking his head.
Yeah, me and Joe, we had to talk about this. What was it? I think the other night or last Thursday or whatever it was when I talked to him.
Sheesh, man.
And it is freaking cold outside, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Cold.
It's in what? Almost it's in the low 40s.
Yeah, I thought the gauge on my truck was messed up because it was saying 31.
Oh, is it
But I
that
kind of
cold?
believe it now.
That's good for me. I gotta go to work tonight.
Do you really?
Yeah. So I'll take the cold weather. That should be good for me.
Tony gets a tan from the moonlight.
I get tanned by moonlight. Right now with my computer monitors.
That's the one thing I'm going to dread hating doing soon once we get settled into the new house is finding a job.
You'll be all right.
Well, at least Jim's giving me a deal on the
Buc-ee's.
epoxy flooring, so I guess
Yeah,
that
that's a
works to my advantage.
That's
Buc-ee's is hiring.
Yeah, Buc-ee's hiring. They pay well too.
I'm not that much of a people person.
Oh, there's hold on. You could do restrooms for $20 an hour. Let's see.
Like I said, I'm not a people person. I could tear around. Someone will say the wrong thing to me in the bathroom, and yeah.
She'll say you could be a gym teacher or TCAT.
Teach it. You could be a gym teacher.
You know he meant teacher.
Yeah.
Or it's one of those new pronouns we don't know about yet.
Oh God.
I mean, 2024 ain't over.
And it ain't over yet. Jeez.
But on a brighter note, I finally washed the truck today.
That's a win. Oh, really, Lefty? 63 here. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you can bring that weather and those chicken fried steak sandwich chicken things up here too.
Don't bring that up. You need to bring that down here.
I'll go there. I don't need to stay here.
You say you go to it?
I'll go to it.
Sheesh.
I had enough of this city.
I get it. This cold weather ain't no joke. I'm not ready for it. I can honestly say I'm not ready for the cold weather.
I haven't put my car up yet. I drove it today.
I haven't put my car up yet either. Not yet. I still got to clean it. I got to take it to get an oil change before I put it away.
I think last year I had already put it away around now.
I think I had my car out until mid-December last year. I did my last drive in December. I wasn't ready.
I managed to do my oil change without making a mess this year.
I saw you change oil in the garage over there.
but like last year, because the gasket didn't seal, so when I started the car up to make to get oil pressure back up, oh man, there was oil dumped all over my garage. I was so mad.
Are you serious?
I had to go to got in my other car, drove to while the oil was all on the ground, drove to the pet store to go buy kitty litter, and more oil, come back home and then the oil had already spread even further out. Oh yeah, no, I had oil everywhere. It was on everything, everywhere.
Hey, you see what Lefty says, huh? Say no, not the restrooms. There's always a line at Buc-ee's restrooms, men and women.
Oh well, they pay $20 an hour to do restroom cleaning.
Just saying.
There's even something special with that when it says, I'll go again. No experience necessary for a restroom crew.
Hold it up, make it big. Hold up. There it is.
No experience necessary.
Restroom crew. Or you can get that extra dollar and work the car wash.
Yeah, do the car wash. But if you go be the boss of the car wash, now that's where it's at.
Yeah.
125 for a car wash manager.
Plus for the manager at the car wash.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, right? So should I get it for you? There you go. There's your QR code.
Yeah, they got a Buc-ee's they're about to open up in Wisconsin, so
I don't know if I want to drive from Sycamore up to Wisconsin.
Could be an issue. Could be a haul.
I don't even want to I have to turn around and redo the garage now again to get the vet to fit back in here. Crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you $5,000 to do this for me so I don't have to.
You're gonna need that for the dog wheel.
There you go.
I'll take it out of her house fund. And Lloyd thinks I'm joking, but I'm not.
I'll be there Friday. I'll knock it out for you, buddy. Don't worry about it. We'll get.
I need it done tomorrow because I got to bring the car back tomorrow night.
Yeah, I got to go to work. I'm not gonna be able to do it tomorrow, bro.
I'm not available.
I got things. If we could do it Friday, I'm all over it.
Well, I got to bring the car here tomorrow.
No.
It's gonna have to sit outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I don't trust. I don't trust my neighbors.
It's a restroom crew always working. They be earning that $20 an hour.
That's one of the main reasons we're moving. My neighbors, they've called the cops on me for just starting my car. They called the cops because I had the garage door open, taking the garbage out, and called the cops on me.
That's crazy, bro.
You come out?
What's that?
And the police come out? I would have not come out for that job.
Surprisingly, but since we deal with McHenry County sheriffs, I know them. And when they get the call saying that I'm doing donuts in the road,
You smoke the brisket.
they start laughing. They'll come out and just, because I live on a barely 1-lane gravel road. And if I try to do a donut, I'm crashing into trees.
She'll say you can make taffy.
And I can barely leave without bottoming out my car. Lloyd can vouch for this.
On a gravel road. Ugh.
It's horrible. It's
Oh,
horrible.
thank you.
It is not fun. Not fun for the vet over there. I can tell you that.
Oh, I have fun with the truck because I turn around and just floor it. And God, I don't want to do this.
Just
I got
yell
the
at
Mustang.
yourself.
I got
Yell
the
at yourself like a
Mustang
drill
wheels
sergeant.
sold.
Huh?
Wait, what was that?
I said, yell at yourself like a drill sergeant. Like, clean this mess up, private.
Man, I probably turn around and start smacking myself like a drill sergeant would smack someone. But the
trying
Mustang
to
wheels
bring
and
this back to
tires are
military.
sold.
Don't do it, man. You can't explain that to anyone.
Yeah.
How do you explain that? I slapped myself. I knocked myself out. What a
I
slap.
remember all the time being told, just smack yourself.
I gave myself a black eye once.
How'd you do that?
All right. Story time.
Yeah, yours will probably be different than how I gave myself a black eye.
So it's not a long story. So at Fort Wainwright, we're in the fire truck. I'm in the back seat of the fire truck, and we face the opposite direction, right? So you got the driver facing one way, I'm facing the back way, in the fire truck. So we're looking the other direction, and I'm not watching the road. I don't get to see the road. We're coming down the mountain, like the hill, because there was like a trouble call at the top of the hill. Like this, it's a fairly large hill. It's like a ski hill, and so we go up there for a trouble call. It was nothing. It was like a water sensor. We had to go and reset it. We have to go up there. Coming back down, the driver Bill, he's driving, just chilling. He hits a bump at the same time I'm scratching my eyes like this, like it's like 3 a.m. I'm like, it's like this. Hits the bump, I go, wah, boom! Like, all I see are stars. I like, because he just that hit the bump like boom, like just punched myself both eyes. Like, I have the headset on, and I'm like, I'm telling, because nobody sees it because it's dark. Nobody saw what I did, and I'm on the headset. I'm like, Bill just made me punch myself.
That is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that's actually better than mine.
What do you got?
Alcohol involved.
Normally is.
And a doorknob.
You say normally is.
Military story, normally alcohol involved.
I'll be right back.
It was coming down a flight of stairs.
Hey, man, y'all got to get one of these EDC flashlights.
Yeah. It's really good to mess with drunks.
Yes.
Be glad I don't have epilepsy.
I'm getting canceled.
Oh, thank you. Just pop it on the laptop. I'm finally starting to attempt to eat dinner here, finally.
What's on the menu?
Pizza.
Oh, I made DiGiorno.
Yeah, this is Costco's, and it's actually really freaking good.
The Costco pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had it. Oh, Lefty says he knocked himself out before. I was working under my truck, putting on a starter. The starter case iron. Wait, hold on. The starter is cast iron, and it fell on my forehead. Damn,
That'll
Lefty.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I drank myself stupid in Germany and woke up the next morning and didn't even realize what happened. Woke up with cash on my dresser trying to figure it out. And my one buddy that was a sergeant, he goes, dude, last night is a night we're never going to forget. I'm like, well, I don't even remember. And then he pulls out his video camera.
Oh, there's evidence. That's
Yeah.
not good. That's not good. Not good when there's evidence. Did you have a good time? Did it look like you had a good
According
time?
to the video, they finally turned around and stopped me with pulling me off the stage when I was getting money for taking clothes off.
Yeah, so drunk, you had a good time.
Yeah. And that funded my next night of drinking. That was Friday night, and then we were planning on figure out what to do Saturday night.
Strip bars, typically.
No, I behaved. I just said, let's just go to an Irish pub and call it a night.
Yeah. I just knew so many people in the service, they blew their monies, that first and the 16th strip clubs. Like, how? I don't understand. I never understood the allure. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to see naked people, but I don't understand blowing your whole check there, though.
Yeah. Strip clubs.
Strip clubs?
No.
I mean, it's just like we went, spent maybe like $60, whatever. That was one thing I had self-control with. Between there and the casinos, I know when to stop.
Yeah, I never really went. Maybe because I also was in Alaska that we didn't have very good strip clubs.
I was never one of those guys, so it didn't.
That was the one place I wanted to go so bad was Alaska.
It's still there, believe it or not. You can still go.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid I wanted to be stationed there.
Oh. Yeah, I did quite the tour there. Because I was stationed at Wainwright, and then I did I worked at the Air Force Base at Fort. Oh, sorry. Now I can't remember the name of the Eielson Air Force Base. So the Eielson Air Force Base, while they were resurfacing their runway, so all their airplanes moved over to Wainwright. We went over there to cover their fire protection for the housing. And our helicopters were over there. And so I did that. I worked at Fort Greely, which is like in the middle of Alaska, nowhere. And
shower curtain or
Well,
something.
what is it, Fort Richardson?
and Fort Richardson's in Anchorage, and that was and I worked there for a season also, doing our 911 dispatch.
You
So
say he got drunk and had a fight with a shower curtain and lost.
And lost.
Oh my God.
Army drunk stories are some of the best ones. Like I got a few. There was we had SoCo sent to us in when we were in Afghanistan. So being dry, and not having anything to drink for months, and getting a bottle of SoCo, in a Listerine bottle. So that's how everybody did it back then.
Yeah.
So we have SoCo in Listerine, and so we're getting, and it's just there's four of us drinking this in our little tent that we had set up at Shindan. So we're on the fob. It's 2 a.m. or 3 a.m, and we're getting just fucking wasted. We get like, hey, let's go drive fire trucks and do nighttime training. Drunk driving. Yes, we'll do this at the fire trucks. We got our night vision goggles out. We're trying to drive with night vision goggles on the flight line, on the runway. Like, airplanes are not coming in. Airplanes are not coming in at night. That's fine. We're in a fob. No airplanes. So we're like, hey, we just call the tower. Tower like, hey, we're gonna do night vision or night goggle training on the, out here with the fire truck. Like, oh, copy. Have a good time. Like, all right, great. So told the tower we went and did this. Turned the lights off. Everything. Like, dude, can't see shit. Like I saw better without the night vision goggles because it was like a little misty out, and you could, and it was a full moon, so you could see the runway pretty well. Because there's no lights out there, so we're telling our young E4, like, you're driving now, you do it. He's like, I can't see. We're laughing our balls off about this. He's like, just laughing and laughing. He drives us off the runway. The runway has like about maybe a foot drop from where the concrete ends, and then it turns into gravel. And then so he drives off the runway because he doesn't see the end of the runway. We then, in between that where the runway ends, there's about like maybe 25 feet or so between that, and then there's a fence. So there's a fence at the end, and then there's another fence. And if you've ever been out in theater, that in between these two fences is mines. That's our minefield that was left behind from the Russians. Like, that's a minefield out there. So we were inches from hitting that fence, because what happened is, as we go off the runway, instead of we're all in the air, like, he comes back down. His foot doesn't go on the brake; it goes on the gas. So you just hear the motor blow it out. Like, dude, brakes! Like, it is like skipping, like beep 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 beep. We just stop, like, turn the headlights on, fence, nothing but fence.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, my mom used to send. She would send me cigarettes, and then she would turn around and put vodka in a Listerine bottle. But the way she did it, she would send a stuffed animal and shove it in there, and then re-sew it up.
Oh.
And then I was like, Mom, you can send me cigarettes. That's fine. So she turned around and just started putting the Listerine bottles with vodka or Jack Daniels in a stuffed animal. And
oh my God.
And I'm actually surprised Holly's not listening to this, because I tried telling her some of the stories with people sending alcohol in Listerine bottles, and she just kind of looked at me like, yeah, okay.
That's a go-to on cruise ships.
So if I could continue a little more of my story, that it didn't end there. That was just the beginning of that night.
That is bananas.
So we didn't die. We should have died that night, but we didn't, because drinking and military leads to death sometimes, or close calls.
Loss of limbs.
Yeah, loss of limbs. So we were like, all right, fine, we'll survive this. What else could we do? I am on the top of the fire truck with another guy, with another sergeant, and we're just on top. We're just like surfing like like we're on Teen Wolf, like on top of the car, oh, we're surfing on top of the car or on top of the truck while the E4 is driving through. He takes us to the tower because now we have to get batteries for our radios. The tower's got batteries, so we go to the tower. Need batteries. Top up batteries. Don't exhale. Don't smell like alcohol. Get their batteries. Come back down. First Sergeant's Humvee's outside, Sergeant Major's Humvee's outside. He has no up armor on it. It's just there's nothing on it. It's just like a Jeep. There's window, no doors, nothing. It's just emptied out. It looks like someone like someone stripped it. But he loved that thing. He drove it everywhere. So we dumped. We sprayed so much water into his Humvee. I'm surprised. I don't even know if it worked. We just took the fire truck and just dumped so much water. Like, fuck this guy. We hated him anyway. Just filled it up with water. And then now now we need water for our fire truck. So we went and drove to get water for the fire truck. And it's just like our day was fun.
That is bananas.
You said you did that in Afghanistan?
Did that in Afghanistan, yeah, in Shindan.
Nice.
Good story, right?
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
And I really wish I was there now.
That's crazy.
I would have been that was my type of night right there.
Yeah.
Surfing
on top of the fire truck. And it wasn't even an Army fire truck. It was the crash truck for the aircraft. So it was an Air Force truck.
Air Force truck.
Yeah. And we had an Air Force truck.
That is straight bananas. Oh my God.
And here I thought some of us trying to joust through the turrets of the Humvees and all that stuff was fun.
It sounds fun. I just turned the Sergeant Major's Humvee into a pool.
Jeez. God, that's bananas.
Like he probably thought, because it was kind of raining that night, he probably just thought it was rainwater. But no, we filled that thing up. I was like, we must have got water in everything because we were from behind us, so we're just shooting in from the bumper turret right into the onto the dashboard. Like, I'm sure the water's all behind into the electronics. Like, I don't even know if it ever worked again. I mean, I'd be honest, I never saw it again. But
yeah, Humvees can get wet though. They can get submerged pretty heavy.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I just thought we were just laughing so hard as we were doing it because you can't hide what we're doing.
You're right.
The motor, because the engine is so loud when you get all that pressure built up. Like I don't know how people sleeping inside the tower didn't hear us dumping all this water.
That is hilarious. That is absolutely bananas. Sound like fun to me. Sounds like a lot of fun to me.
One of my favorite stories whenever I meet up with the same people. I'm like, hey, do you remember that time we almost died? I love that story. Let's tell it. Let's talk about it.
Oh my God.
And here I thought my highlight was when we were in Kuwait and President Bush came and he said, "Go Cowboys." And I looked at him and said, "Go Redskins."
You said at the Bush?
Yep.
What did he say?
Well, my dad was from DC, so I was brought up and raised watching the Redskins. So when he said, "Go Cowboys," I was just like, "Go Redskins."
Yeah.
And the looks I got from him in the Secret Service, it was priceless.
Priceless.
Well, the fact that he heard you is good.
Yeah. That's a win.
That's a win.
Yeah, because it was Thanksgiving too with everything.
Well, he was out there for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. These stories can go on. I need another Veterans Day live. Get some more.
To be continued next Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday we
We can do the rest of the month. We can ride the month out with veterans.
Yeah, let's do a month of Veterans Day, man. Come on.
Like car stuff has come to a close practically, so it might as well.
Hey, it sounds like a deal to me. I say we do it. We're gonna close the month out with Veterans Day stories. See stories. I'm good.
Yep, cars go away, the guns come out, and more range time now.
Yes. Speaking of, we got to plan a range date.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I probably won't be able to until we get fully moved in.
Yeah. I'm thinking about picking a Saturday to go. So
let me know. I got bullets to shoot.
Sound like a plan.
Like Nicole's got bullets to shoot. I shoot her bullets.
Really?
She's got more bullets than I do.
Yeah, I've got, I think, 6,000 rounds to start getting rid of. And that's between 9mm and 40s.
You should get rid of that. They're gonna expire like milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get rid of all my rounds. I will still go to the range and buy ammo so I can make sure I have some in the safe.
Well, at least I have a lot more storage now for more ammo.
I'd be lucky if I even have 1,000 rounds. I don't have that much.
I probably have I got over 700, almost 800 rounds of 7.62 alone. I probably got
I know
600 rounds of 5.56, probably about 400 rounds of 2.23. I don't know how much 9 I have. I got 49, 45, 380, 38. Yeah.
Like I said, I cleared about a little over 2,000 when I went to my brother's and all that before we went to my dad's funeral at Arlington. So, and
yeah. I'm still trying to stockpile.
So at that point, I had over 8,000 rounds.
Yeah. I need to get some more ammo. I want to get more 40 and 9. Everything else I'm pretty. Oh, I got 10mm as well.
Hey, I got some 40 and 9 if you need.
Yes. Yes.
And I still have the wheel stud things too for the vet.
Oh yeah, I got to get those.
Those are at the new house already, so just so you know.
I'm gonna be.
So if I forget where I put them, just tell me they're at the new house.
Will do. I'll be using them real soon because I'll be pulling the wheels off the vet after all the oil change and all of that stuff, so I can get ready for the winter.
Okay, I have to find a weekend day to come out and take a look at it. And I'll even be nice. You don't even have to help us unload anything.
Oh, I'm not that type of friend anymore. I don't help unload. I'm not that type of friend.
Right.
I'm too old for that. Like those were my 20s.
Yeah, that was.
Now you hire movers.
Yeah. Well, right now we're just going through getting all the small little stuff, and everything else we're going to get movers to come in and do the rest.
There you go. Whoa, World Traveler.
World Traveler. They can't hear you because I have my headset in, or she can't hear you.
Oh, she can't. That's a nice Buc-ee's bag you have there.
She's a nice Buc-ee's bag. No, fine, gross.
Tell her I said welcome home.
Lloyd says welcome home. Welcome home, dear.
And I may need more boxes.
Oh, he says more boxes.
Oh, Ray needs boxes?
Ray needs boxes.
I think. I have to double check.
Yeah, double check. I'm sorry, I have to be like playing telephone here because I suppose I could turn on the other speakers. I have to get off anyway. I have to get ready for work.
Yeah, my wife just got home. I need to get off too so I can check on her and see what's going on.
Yeah, Holly just handed me more pizza.
There you go. Well, guys, thank you guys for hanging out. This was fun. The veteran, the rest of the week, we doing the rest of the month. I'm digging the stories. I'm loving this. I got tons. I got tons.
I got more. I got more. Those
Some
are
I can tell,
those
some
were
I
more of my favorite ones I told today.
Some I can tell, some has to go to the grave, but I still got some more I can tell.
At least I'm not the only Army guy now.
You never were. You were never alone.
You're never alone, buddy.
Well, between Lloyd and Show, I was just like, I was like, odd one out.
You know, he's Air Army, so that's the same.
You got TD.
TD.
Oh yeah.
Right there. Right. You gotta do the knife hand. Knife hand. Right there.
You're not gonna get balloons or fireworks.
What?
Oh. Mr. High Tech guy over there.
What happens with two of them? Confetti.
You get confetti. Does it only work on your screen?
Apple.
Oh.
I have a Mac.
Yeah, it don't work from the phone, apparently.
I have an iPhone.
What happens if you do the thumbs up?
You get a thumbs up.
Oh.
Two
thumbs down work?
You get fireworks.
What did you get in this box?
Thumbs down. You get a thumbs down. Two thumbs down. You get rain.
Oh, jeez.
You're welcome, Ray. You're welcome.
What about double piece or whatever?
Confetti.
Oh yeah, that's right. My brain's mush right now.
Hey, you're welcome.
There you go. Did he? No, he had dog vet bills coming. You can tell your story to Nicole before you leave.
Give me a second. Oh.
You got Christmas ornaments? They sent that big box for. I was like, I got the box. I'm like, what is in there? We're like, air?
Christmas ornament. This is what Amazon sent today.
You say one box, one ornament in that big old box.
Yeah, I pick up that box. I'm like, is there anything even in here? Like, what'd you buy?
A Christmas ornament.
Yeah, so Nikki, apparently Jax got into a brawl when I was on the way back home from the new house with two other dogs, and apparently Jax held up pretty good against Cane Corso.
Was he at
So he's at the vet now getting stitches and all that stuff.
Yeah, but was he at like doggy daycare?
No, Holly was walking him in the front yard to take him out, and she said the other dog, I guess, got away from the owner and came in, and him and Jax got into it. And
hopefully they're covering your vet bills.
I don't even know who it is.
Like the dog just disappeared?
Well, I wasn't home when it happened.
Right. She didn't.
And Holly, she was just like, I don't know if I remember seeing a guy walking the dog. She goes, I remember the woman walking him. And she was like, it was a big dog, like a Cane Corso. So.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get some details straight and figure it out because, yeah.
Yeah, I would just see if anybody has ring camera footage, figure out who it is, so you go after them for the vet bills, because they'll be responsible for it. And then if the dog, I mean, depending on where you're at, dog might have a bite record or whatever's going on, but like those vet bills aren't going to be cheap because he's going to have drains, I'm sure.
Yeah, they said I'm looking between like 3,400 to over maybe $4,000.
I told them my story too. They're like,
Oh, you getting bit?
no, well, no. I told a story about Kara getting sick while we were flying back. I'm like, how that vet bill was like, oh.
But the whole messed up part is though, when I got home and Holly had Jax inside, he turned around, went, ate his food, no problem, grabbed his one ball, wanting to play, and
Just wanted to be normal.
The field tomorrow.
oh yeah, he was really once he started calming down, just being at the vet, he was just all of a sudden whining, and he started getting like really defensive and snapping, and then like really aggressively reacting like he's never done.
Yeah, it happens.
So
Yeah,
now it's gonna now I'm even more nervous when we get into the new house because all the dogs that are around.
You just take it slow, like take it slow, reintroducing him to like just walking, so he's not going to get attacked. But you may have to do some training with him on it.
Yeah. Well, we just got to find a trainer that'll actually work with them and all that stuff. Because a few that we talked to, they're like, well, if he's a Shepherd Malinois mix, we're not doing it.
Where'd you move to?
We're out in Sycamore now.
Okay.
Well, we'll be living in Sycamore.
I can ask Liz. Liz might know somebody. I mean, really, with him, it'll be.
Yeah, he just pushed me around. Welcome home.
Holly does the same thing to me when she gets home and I'm sitting. She'll push me around or slap me or something.
It's just not fair. Can't do it back.
Well, you can always throw a blonde wig on and attempt.
Not anymore. Not with the new regime.
Remember, she has more ammo.
She's got more ammo than I do.
We'll swing by. I'll hook you up.
Thanks. What is that? You have weapons up here? This is your desk. Why do you have weapons at your desk?
That was on me when I was traveling.
Oh, this is your
That's my travel pepper spray.
Oh, that's cute.
It is.
Oh,
Oh,
that's what you keep on your desk?
It
You
was
don't want-
on me.
You don't
when
want to see what's on my desk.
That was with me when I was in Atlanta, having to deal with storage stuff. I needed something small in my pockets of my like leggings stuff when I was working on shit. So
Understood.
Zard, I got to figure out what gun I'm going to have at my desk.
Oh, a gun. Don't matter.
Yeah, which one? I've got like 9 to choose from.
Don't matter. Oh, you got
Nerf.
one. He said Nerf.
No, those are in the closet.
Nerf. That's the
Water.
internet.
Holly doesn't know I snagged those from here
Water.
already and put in my office. So that way, when she starts undoing boxes from the one landing, I could turn around and just start shooting her again.
Water gun.
I got both the M4 ones.
Pellet gun.
She's like, yeah, you get hit with a dart from across the room.
I want to go buy some of those gel blasters.
I would like that. Look, Lefty said he needs 9 mil.
Oh, there's a whole lot of. I missed all that what Lefty was saying. He's like, I knocked myself out before.
Girl, he
No,
knocked
that's.
himself out with
I did that. Oh, I did read. Sorry.
starter. He got drunk and lost a fight to a shower curtain. And
That's
he
right.
says he's on the online with a bunch of military guys and an ex-gang member.
I lost a fight to a tree one night.
Oh, that's horrible.
Soko?
Jaeger and absent.
Oh. Germany?
Yeah.
Horrible combination.
And then I lost another fight to a tree with Jack Daniels, vodka, and something else at Holly's cousin's
I
wedding.
told them. She's like, she patted me. She's like, oh, you have stories. Like, I have them. They told some already.
Yeah, we Just let her know
No.
Let her know we're going to continue stories the rest of the month because of what we started. They will continue through the rest of the month.
You know, I told them the story about me going into almost going into the minefield after drinking SoCo.
I have a 40 cal, 40 next to mine.
Detroit. That's what all of us drink all the time.
Where'd you get this?
So I have a weird question then for you, Tony, or Nikki. You might even be able to answer this. So I found when we were going through cleaning and all that, Holly found a bottle of 151. Unquestionable on how old it is. It still smells potent and still lights on fire. Think it's still good to drink.
Yeah.
Alcohol doesn't go bad.
I mean,
151's not gonna go bad unless there's like it got contaminated with anything else.
I mean, it's half gone.
Contaminated.
Yeah.
You realize that it's 151. I mean, whatever you put in it will.
Wait, hold on. Restate your question. Is it good enough to drink? I wouldn't drink it personally.
Me either, but it doesn't go bad.
But it doesn't go bad. It'll still hurt you.
It will hurt you bad.
Well, it tastes like a sour apple juice, though.
What?
What?
So it tastes like a really sour apple juice.
That's not 151.
Yeah, that's not how it was. That's not how it originally tasted.
It will never
Is it
taste
Everclear?
sour.
Everclear 151?
Sour apple juice. Alcohol don't go sour.
Which
Yeah, which
Wine
151 are you drinking? Is it Everclear?
Alcohol will never go sour.
Well, it's some weird bottle of 151. It's not Bacardi. It's some other one.
If it's still 151 proof alcohol.
Do we still have that bottle of 151? Oh, it's at the new house already?
That is it is 75% alcohol, 25% whatever. It ain't going bad.
It shouldn't go bad.
It won't. It can't.
If it's like that Jamaican shit that Norm had.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Weird,
Had weird stuff in it.
Like that tasted funky. Like it tasted more sour, but that was just how they mixed, like how they made it.
It's probably the way it's made, but it won't happen over time.
Yeah, 151 doesn't go bad. 151 is what we used to make all the prospects drink when they were finally getting vested. They had to do a shot of 151 and do a shot of hot sauce directly after it, and they couldn't puke.
I remember doing those.
I was a pro at 151.
Yeah.
It's still good. Nicely aged now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the proof on our blackened? What was that one? 120 something? I know, it was a surprise.
Take it from me. Even when making the stuff that turns into alcohol, all it needs is 20% alcohol in it. It won't go bad unless you introduce something else to it, and that's 20%. Once it gets beyond 50%, if it can't freeze, it's not going to go bad.
Gotcha.
122 on that one.
What is that? Hold on, let me pull it. Blackened cast. Ooh, I like things that are cast strength.
122.
Yum.
09.
122. That's 61% alcohol.
So
Yum.
I bought it. I'm like, oh, it's whiskey. All right, cool. It's different. It's at Costco. Something new that Costco didn't have. I'm like, I'll get it.
Oh, that's Costco.
Because it's whiskey that's finished in black brandy casks. So, right, brandy and whiskey. I'm like, let's give it a go. It should be fun. But I did not read what the proof was on it. So it's at 122.09. I poured it for us. I'm like, dude, it was like a donkey punch. I was like, this hurts.
So cast strength, that's about where I put things on wood is about 61% alcohol. In between 55 and 62. So in between 110 to 124 proof is what I usually put on wood. That is a good balance of pulling the sweeter notes out of wood, if that makes sense. Anything you go higher, you start getting astringent stuff, off flavors, off tastes, harsh flavors. You get smoother flavors in that kind of space, that 55 to 60, 62%.
Yeah, I'll text over a picture to Nikki once I find the bottle, if it's here or at the new house. But I said, I don't even remember this brand. I never remember getting this bottle.
Yeah, you said it tastes like apple. That's not
Yeah,
how
it was like.
tasted.
Well, I remember. It's like I remember at one point it tasted like a sour apple juice, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was made like.
But I know after 3 shots, I was already face planted on the couch.
You did 3 of them?
Yeah.
You're like, I haven't learned my lesson the first time. Let me do it.
Oh, all 3 were back to back, all one right after another.
Look, I wasn't sure if that first one was real. Let me try it again.
Like, was it really taste like apples?
Did I do this once already? Let me try it again.
After the first one, probably just burned all your taste buds off, and that's all it could taste.
After that, you can taste nothing. Your chest don't burn anymore after that.
Yeah.
It's like I think the last time I got really drunk was a couple years ago when we went to Vegas for work. And I was even telling myself, do not face plant in the bed. And what happened? I face planted in the bed and woke up the next morning around the porcelain god.
Yeah.
I got a 151 story as well. My God, we'll tell that next time because I was in the military, so I guess I could tell that.
Oh, I probably have about 9 or 10 stories involving 151 between Germany and Bragg. Yeah,
Jim Beam Vanilla is.
I only had one experience, and I think I was 19. I wasn't even in service yet.
I was 19.
I wasn't even in the service yet.
One of my favorite things about being on a military base, especially 18 to 20, was you was able to drink on the base. You couldn't drink out in town, but you was able to drink on that base. I don't know if y'all was able to do that. Y'all were behind.
In Germany, we were, because the legal drinking age was 16.
Yeah.
Around the country, in the U.S., on military bases, when I was 18 through 20, I was able to drink on a military base. Not out in town, but I was able to drink on a military base.
We couldn't.
Yep. I remember when they turned it off. It's okay.
You were there.
Yeah, I was there. I was able to partake. But this was back when, especially I was in New Orleans. I was on Algiers base. We used to have a club on that base. Used to be civilians lined up outside the base. The local radio station used to be on the base at that club. There were civilians lined up off the base to try to get on the base. That club would go so hard. That base club was ridiculous. Absolutely nuts. And again, 19, I was 19 at the time. I was able to drink on that base. A lot of MGB in my day, my friend. A lot of MGD. Miller Genuine Draft.
Oh, I
thought you were going to say Miller High Life with drinking the champagne of all beers.
Got to be Genuine Draft. That's what I, for some reason, it was that and just that little green shot. Kamikazes. Don't ask me how I got into Miller Genuine Draft and Kamikazes leaving boot camp. That was the 2 things I drank most.
How'd you get into those?
Chicago. I have no idea. I was in Chicago though.
It was funny. My first beer ever was what my grandpa, and it was Old Style. And then MGD's what my dad, and then Jack Daniel's what my mom.
Progressive.
Oh yeah, considering Old Style, I was like 7 or 8 years old.
I I didn't even like drinking. I didn't like beer. I didn't like. I was the special, to say the least. Like I will have like the fruity Jack Daniel bottles, like those little wine cooler things. I would get those, and like with like nothing but hangover at the next day because it's so sweet.
So you're the guy that drank Cisco.
Right. So I also drink Mad Dog, right? So like, but then that came later.
Strawberry Jubilee.
Allegedly, but
Strawberry Jubilee.
So when I went to the store earlier, I actually almost came home with some Boone's Farm.
Lord,
I was like, oh, the memories.
Yeah, that's not good either. I drank that Snow Creek Berry was that.
Yeah, I saw those as like, oh, the memories.
Yeah, we did that too when we were at a liquor store. Like, hey, honey, look, Boone's
Hey,
Farm.
I got to get off the Beth calling.
Oh,
all right, later.
Bye. Well, I think we should call it a night.
I would agree.
All right.
I would agree. Thank you, man, for hanging out. Really do appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
We got to start next week again. We got to go back to these stories. The stories are just ridiculous.
I'll tell you what. I'll send you an MRE so we can all eat MRE. I have a box of MREs. We could just eat MREs together.
They sell them at the commissary in North Chicago.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm game. Like they don't bother me one bit. I'm game. Let's get it.
My MREs are 15 years old now.
Aren't all of them about 15 years old?
It might be, but I have. They're about 15 years old. Let's see if they're even any good. I thought about having like a military Thanksgiving, like have like all my veteran friends come on over. We'll have a military Thanksgiving eating MREs, and just go like, yeah, this is horrible. This is why do we even do that ourselves?
Until it heats up, making your little Kool-Aid mix. That what was the espressos?
I traded my chili mac for your Tabasco.
The chili mac though was good.
The chili mac was good.
I like the chili mac. He can't talk bad about the chili mac, so I'll do the chili mac. Wait, hold up. We're gonna do a couple more of Lefty.
We got the Lefty.
Bull and gin. What?
Bull and gin. I drank Thunderbird with my dad and Jack Daniels, my uncle.
My uncle's was Thunderbird. My grandfather was Schaefer's, like cheap beer.
I didn't learn about Old English until I was in the Army.
Old English was, that was military for me. I was in the military drinking old. Ooh, I got a story for you.
And Red Stripe.
And Red Stripe. That was a club drink for me. That was on the base. I would drink Red Stripes on the base. Those and MGDs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember my that 151 story, and I had to go to work the next day. Y'all, you gonna love this one. Y'all gonna love this one. Whew. All right, guys. Listen, man. Y'all know how we do, man. This was a good one. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Thank you, Tony, for coming on with the stories.
Thank you for having me.
This really, this was good, man. I like the military stories. Now, back in the day when I was younger, I hated going to hear all the old guy stories. Now that I've become an old guy, I kind of like hearing those stories.
I think stories. I feel like the stories are better when you're the NCO.
Yeah,
like, let me tell the story now that I'm the NCO.
Yeah, because when I used to go and volunteer at the VA, I hated hearing those old guy stories. It used to drive me like, why do I want to? Why does he keep telling me about what he used to do? Now I'm that guy. It's like, these are fun. Now you can compare and contrast.
Yeah. Like,
but listen, man,
your military was way different than my military.
Way different. And not only that, we got 3 way different. Everybody's just serving something a little bit different, and TD's the only one still playing the game.
Yeah. Well, God bless him.
Yes. But listen, guys, y'all have a good one, man. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out again. And we're gonna continue these stories throughout the rest of the month. We're gonna celebrate military stories and our veterans the way we want to celebrate our veteran brethren. So listen, guys, y'all know how we do. We don't do the normal around here. Why is that? Because we were designed from greatness. And guys, because we were designed for greatness, you have the right, the responsibility, and authority to never, ever, ever be average. So guys, don't be average. And listen, man, y'all know how it is, bro. Shout out to all my veterans, active duty reserve, and otherwise. And always remember, freedom ain't free. Peace.